in a way to not maybe raise suspicion that they're actually watching the targeted individual.
The university's interim president commenting on that employee's alleged actions in a letter to the community. It said in part that what was happening was disturbing, unacceptable, and unethical, and we will not tolerate it, adding that going forward, we are terminating all contracts with external vendors to provide plainclothes security on campus, end quote. The decision certainly appreciated, but Attorney Macklin says more needs to be done here.
I think the university's got to be held accountable. They need to have some transparency. We need to have oversight over the spending of these universities, and these independent investigations, must happen against the university, not against the students.
Now, Fox 2 did reach out to City Shield Security Services for comment, and they did send us a statement. They say that they are aware of this, they are investigating, and that they take all complaints seriously. In the meantime, the university's interim president says if you experience inappropriate behavior as a result of some sort of interaction with one of these private security companies, you're asked to reach out to campus police right away so they can investigate. Reporting from Ann Arbor, I'm Robin Murdoch, Fox 2 News.
Our 3 students who survived the 2023 Michigan State University shooting reached nearly $30 million in settlements with the school. Grewal Law, who represented the victims, secured almost $17 million for their clients, who were both critically injured. Another survivor, who was paralyzed from the chest down, received a $13 million settlement. That victim will also receive free tuition, room, board, and health insurance. 5 people were wounded. 3 were killed before the shooter turned the gun on himself. A woman has been charged with violating Michigan's safe storage law after a shooting on a school bus injured a student in Redford Township last month. Maya Prim was arraigned this morning. She's accused of not properly securing a gun that was used on board a bus outside of Thurston High School back on May 7th. Police say a 15-year-old boy who is related to Prim had the gun unsecured in his backpack. When he took it out and was handling it, police say it went off and hit another student in the hand. In addition to the charges against Prim, the teen who had the gun has also been charged with several offenses, including careless discharge of a weapon causing injury. 2 people were taken into custody this morning after a police chase in Warren ended with a crash. This all started around 1 a.m. Police pulled over a car near 8 Mile and MacArthur for speeding, and say a man who appeared intoxicated briefly stopped before taking off. Officers followed and stop sticks were deployed, but the chase continued into Detroit. The driver eventually crashed into an alley. Investigators say one passenger who tried to get out of the car before the crash was critically injured and taken to the hospital. We're told the driver and a female passenger tried to run after the crash, but were caught. Police also found what they believe are narcotics in the vehicle. Charges are pending. Police chase spanning 3 days in more than a dozen cities in Metro Detroit ends in this arrest caught on camera. That man who had been driving a semi was taken into custody at Market and Winder in Detroit yesterday afternoon. According to sources, the driver is accused of breaking into an ex's home in Dearborn on Saturday. When police arrived, police say he hit a cruiser and led them on a chase through multiple cities. That chase was called off several times due to safety concerns. According to the sources that we spoke with, the suspect is being held by Dearborn police and is expected to be arraigned on various felony charges. A man from Missouri is behind bars after striking a Michigan State police cruiser Sunday night. This happened on westbound I-94, I-94 in Lincoln Township. We're told the trooper was outside their vehicle conducting a traffic safety stop at the top. Fortunately, they were not hurt. Police say the 33-year-old driver was under the influence and is awaiting charges. A Detroit mom caught off guard during a Zoom court hearing after she was called out for making a sandwich.
My daughter is sick. I had to keep her home from school. I'm just trying to feed her. That is
That's
it.
not terrible, but you're in court.
Ms. Outerbridge, Ms. Outerbridge, I'm sorry that your daughter is sick, but again, you're in court, okay? And we're going to treat it as such.
Asia Outerbridge was appearing for a hearing for a misdemeanor for allegedly having an open alcohol container as a passenger. During the hearing, she was trying to care for her sick young daughter. 36th District Court Judge Sean Perkins also criticized her attire and then kicked her out of the Zoom. Outerbridge says she waited hours for her hearing and feels like the judge could have shown some mercy there, but she also learned an important lesson.
As an apology, I could have came better prepared, and I could have handled it a lot better.
Outerbridge says she'll be making sure that she's dressed and ready for the next hearing. Another Sheetz is coming to Metro Detroit. The Royal Oak City Commission voted last night approving a rezoning plan for a site at 14 Mile and Coolidge. Sheetz is trying to expand in Metro Detroit, but a number of other communities have said no. Some say the 24-hour convenience store chain would bring extra lighting, noise, and traffic to the area. Fox 2 Detroit Live just getting started. Coming up, Detroit businesses, that scene is just getting a boost. We'll introduce you to the latest Motor City Match winners, helping fuel a growing wave of local entrepreneurship. We'll be right back. You are looking live downtown Detroit, Detroit River, Belle Isle, all of it right there on your screen. It is a perfect day. If you've spent any time outside, you realize that. If not, try to get out there today. I'm Ryan Armani. Take a look at this video out of Arizona where 4 people had to be rescued from Camelback Mountain just outside of Phoenix. A call came in around 11 a.m. about multiple hikers experiencing heat-related illnesses on different parts of the mountain. Phoenix Fire says all of their firefighters were able to get off the mountain safely and hope this serves as a reminder to be safe when out in the heat. not that hot here. Kind of perfect temp-wise for June. Stephanie Mead, Weather Authority, with us now. How you doing, Steph? What's happening?
Good. I always am like in awe of people who can handle the 120-degree heat that they see, and I'm not going to be out there hiking in it for sure. But you kind of hit the nail on the head. It is very nice outside. Temps are in the low 70s. It is very comfortable, all things considered. Humidity levels are low. 72 degrees in the city of Detroit right now. Low 60s out near Muskegon. 61 also up in Marquette. A little bit cooler out near Wisconsin and into parts of northern Minnesota. Low 70s in Chicago, and then up near Fort Wayne too, also in the low 70s. So across the region, a lot of us are feeling these very comfy temperatures. We have showers a little further north and east of us here. Maybe a little bit of light return activity out near northern and central parts of the state, but we are steering clear of any moisture here locally over the next 24 to 36 hours. There really isn't a whole lot to work with here in terms of rain chances. And it feels really nice outside, at least for the time being. So if you have the opportunity for your lunch hour to be outside, I would go ahead and do that. Later on tonight too, really great porch and patio weather. So ideal conditions for us here tonight. Leading into tomorrow, much of the same. We see a lot of sunshine. Really the only issue we see tomorrow is we see the heat building, and we really haven't experienced that a whole lot quite yet, considering we are in the month of June. Highs tomorrow I do think will peak in the mid to upper 80s for a lot of spots. And then moving into Thursday, potentially looking at our next chance for a few showers. A lot of our models are keeping it just north of the city, but I do think there will be some spots that pick up on that isolated shower or thunder shower, and that trend's going to continue into Thursday and Friday as well. Highs today, mid-70s. Sun and clouds, maybe a little breezy, but nothing that's going to knock you over. I think it's going to be a great day today. Our temps peak between about 3 to 7 o'clock tonight. Now, everyone's been talking about this wildfire smoke. We don't have any air quality alerts or advisories out for us here locally, but you could maybe get a little bit of agitation, especially if you do have any respiratory issues. So if you have asthma or you're just prone to allergies, you might notice it a little bit more. But when we talk about the smoke, it's not necessarily getting out of the atmosphere. A lot of it's in the higher levels of the atmosphere. So just something to keep in mind. It's nothing to not get outside for. I mean, you're not going to necessarily at least notice it initially. And I don't think it's going to cause too big of issues over the next 24 to 36 or even 48 hours for us here across southeast Michigan. So keep that in mind. Don't let that deter you from being outside by any means. 58 degrees tonight for an overnight low, mostly clear skies. Overall, a nice feel outside. Temps tomorrow, we really start to feel that summertime warmth. Really great pool day or lake day. 86 degrees. We stay rain free, and then our next chance of rain again arriving on Thursday, and that even looks very much isolated, so it's nothing really to cancel plans over. It's something maybe to have the Fox 2 weather app for, but if you're going to be out and about, just something to keep in mind, especially on Thursday. Otherwise, precip chances look to remain very much isolated to, if not spotty, heading into this upcoming Father's Day weekend. Again, nothing really to cancel any plans over, but something maybe just to keep in the back of your mind. Temps will be in the mid-70s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're approaching 80 by Monday of next week, but overall, really not a bad forecast. Temps remain really comfortable Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the low to middle 70s. And so, yeah, I don't really know much else to say about, the 70-degree weather. I would rather take that over, the mid to upper 80s, lower 90s. But a lot of people want the pool day, so you get that tomorrow.
You've said it all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
See you guys soon.
Looks like dads in the U.S. are going to be spoiled this weekend. The National Retail Federation predicts Father's Day spending will reach record-breaking numbers this year. How about that? About $24 billion to be exact, even though they spent $33 million on Mother's Day. Data reveal that nearly half of consumers plan on buying a gift for a father or stepfather. The organization says people plan to spend, on average, about $200 on gifts, with the top ones being greeting cards, clothing, or special outing. Still ahead, we are now in Men's Health Week. We're speaking with a doctor about issues guys need to be on the lookout for and some fun events happening to help raise awareness. Stay with us. Fox 2 Detroit Live, right back after the break. Welcome back. It is Men's Health Week, a time to prioritize prevention. Dr. Michael Lutz with the Michigan Men's Health Foundation joins us now to talk about the events happening this week to raise awareness. Men's Health Week, you had that big event last night.
We did.
Cogs and Kegs, Doc.
Yeah, it was great. Great cycling event. It brings a lot of people together. We usually get about 300 cyclists, as we did last night. What's really kind of great about the event is it brings our first responders together with our men's health community and with a great place like Lincoln Air. We had a great time, a lot of great food, a lot of great celebration, a lot of miles ridden last night, and a lot of tired people. A little bit of wetness, too, because it did rain partway through the ride. But, you know, these guys are all troopers, so they're really good at this.
10th year for the event. How do events like last night and moving forward that we'll talk about, how do they reach men? How do they expand on that outreach to sometimes boneheaded men who will not go to the doctor?
Well, the goal of our foundation is really to try and get men to be more active, involved, engaged, and move. And this year, our Just Move campaign is really just exemplified by their Cogs and Kegs event. You know, we want to see people just do some moderate or vigorous activity and stay active, because we know that one of the top causes of death now is sedentary death syndrome, and it was exacerbated by the COVID pandemic, where more people were working from home and staying at home. And so we want people to get out of their homes and get active and get engaged.
One of the great things about your organization that you do tremendous, and you do so much, but you reach men where they are, whether it's on a bike or at a golf event. You've got a Top Golf event coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you know, it's one of our really enjoyable experiences. It's a gala that we use to celebrate not only men's health, but prostate cancer survivorship. So many of our partners and sponsors join us at that event. And it's kind of a cool way to have a mild competition between all of us, especially since this year we're going to have our Michigan State Police, Birmingham Police, and Bloomfield Township Police there to compete a little bit against each other. And it's called Mulligans for Men, so you can actually purchase mulligans in the competition. And so there'll be a lot of friendly competition that night. But it's really all about having fun and raising money for our men's health event in the fall.
And it all leads to one of our favorite events every year, the Run for the Ribbon on Father's Day. Tell us about that tradition and how that event helps raise awareness about prostate cancer.
It's a great call to action. It's an event that we call Doing It for Dad, because nobody wants to sit at home and not do something with Dad on Father's Day. And what we do is we bring people together and families together to celebrate prostate cancer survivorship for patients and their families. You don't have to be a prostate cancer survivor to go to an event like this and feel like you're doing something special for your family or for the community. This is just an event where you go out and you really have a great day, and you go into the Detroit Zoo and share a moment with Dad and the family on Father's Day. And also at the same time, those people who come to this event who are celebrating a prostate cancer survivor really can actually do something special for them on that special day.
Such an important cause. I've mentioned in the past, and you know, Doc, my dad is a prostate cancer survivor, and you know, going to the doctor and knowing your numbers, we talk about that, so important. Is prostate cancer on the rise? What do we need to know about that and prevention?
Well, screening is really everything, and screening has really changed.
Yeah.
It appears now that the digital rectal examination is slowly starting to go away, and I know that there are men in the background cheering all over the place for that.
Woo-hoo!
I hear ya. But what's really amazing is not just the PSA blood test, but in addition to that, we now have these liquid biopsy tests that are incredibly accurate, not only at predicting whether you're at risk for high-grade disease or clinically significant disease, but their negative predictive value, their ability to tell you that you absolutely do not have prostate cancer, is incredibly accurate. And these tests are becoming more and more useful in eliminating unnecessary biopsies and invasive procedures. So I think that the algorithm for care and screening is getting better and better and less invasive. And I think that the future is now here. And I think that you should take advantage of getting screened, because screening is knowledge and knowledge is power.
No doubt about that. We're getting a look. It's a B-roll of the big men's health event at Ford Field. It's free health screenings this year. It's September 20th at Ford Field. How do the funds raised this week help save lives later this year?
Well, without the money that we raise from all of these events, we could never hold our annual men's health event at Ford Field. This event will screen over 1,000 men in one day, and we offer everything free at this event. Nothing is charged for, including the food. We want everybody to come to this event and feel like it's their home, that Ford Field is truly their home. And it's going to be game day for men. And that's what's going to be a fantastic experience because it's not invasive, it's a comfortable environment, and it's kind of like what I call the IKEA of men's health. You kind of walk through the maze and you get all your services, and by the time you're done, you get everything you needed in one-stop shopping.
It's so great. Dr. Lutz, thank you so much for being here and sharing all this great information, everything you do to help save lives in our city, in our state, and beyond. Thank you so much.
It's great. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. And of course, Run for the Ribbon happens this Sunday, June 15th at the Detroit Zoo. To register or learn more about this week's event, go to runfortheribbon.com. From men's health to women in business, Detroit's economic scene just got a boost with 3 women opening storefronts in the city's North End. Here's Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly.
The soil is just right to start and grow a business in the city of Detroit.
I am so proud of you ladies.
3 women of color, entrepreneurs, proving dreams do come true, as not 1, not 2, but 3 ribbon cuttings took place to celebrate the success of 3 Motor City Match businesses now operating in Detroit's North End.
$30,000 is a lot of money, and we definitely were in the we needed to upgrade our equipment.
So Christina Magana used her $30,000 grant to spread her wings and move from California into this new space in the Motor City.
Motor City Match helped us elevate and also grow our team.
Colleen Jackson also saw more opportunities in Detroit, moving her hair salon from Ferndale. A $65,000 Motor City Match grant helped make it possible.
It has helped me tremendously. It helped me finish paying for a whole lot of things that I had to pay for, like construction, equipment.
And now she's uplifting others.
Have a registered apprenticeship program with the state of Michigan, so that's for newly licensed stylists.
Entrepreneur Marquita Dace was overcome with emotions.
It's been a long journey. It's gonna make me cry now. It's been a long journey for me.
It's been a sometimes rocky road for this ice cream shop owner, but $65,000 from Motor City Match helped pick up the pieces to open the shop.
Their customer service was phenomenal from the beginning of the application to me receiving the grant, so they've been a tremendous help.
These entrepreneurs credit the Motor City Match program for helping them get to the next level, and they encourage all small business entrepreneurs to never give up.
Keep it going. Don't quit.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
All right, that is a great program. So many wonderful businesses have come through the Motor City Match program, and they continue to come. So if you are a small business that need a little boost from the city, Motor City Match is one of those avenues that you should really look into. That's going to do it for me. Bree Teamer coming up next half hour. For Tom Carr, Intern Matt, wave to the camera here, everybody. This is going to be Intern Matt waving at your camera. We'll be right back.
My name is Bree Teamer. It's June 10th, and it is 72 degrees in our city today. Pretty nice day out there. We're live. What was that?
It was me.
Oh. I forgot to put my mic on.
There you go.
I was too excited. Over here. Let's go ahead and clip this bad boy up like that. And let's roll the open.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
All right, well, our first story of the day for this 30-minute show. If you've been getting more scam texts lately, you're not alone, because I got it yesterday, and a ton of people on social media are talking about this. This is what I'm talking about right here on your screen. It's fake. Do not fall for this. According to a new report from CNET, scammers are able to get people's numbers on the dark web collected during hacks of retailers' websites. I don't know if I like that, because I got one. Now, websites, that's right, online shopping, if you've ever done that, it's putting you at risk. Experts say if a phone number isn't required, it's best to leave that line blank when making a purchase. ICE raids in LA turning violent over the weekend. Crowds of people clashing with the police in the streets, some throwing rocks, using fireworks, and destroying vehicles. Now, officers were seen using tear gas and rubber bullets all over the city, and today dozens of people have been arrested. Now the White House is sending in troops to help get this under control a little bit. Now, more than 700 Marines have been deployed to Los Angeles as widespread unrest continues. This is the state of California. They're moving to sue the Trump administration for deploying the National Guard to the city. Local leaders are accusing the president of inflaming the situation.
Trump and Hegseth jumped from 0 to 60. They threw caution to the wind and sidelined strategy in an unnecessary and inflammatory escalation that only further spurred unrest.
Now, Governor Gavin Newsom announced he's bringing in 800 more state and local officers. He and President Trump are now trading the blame for who's responsible for the riots. Well, there are new reports of visitors to America saying they feel added pressure at the airports as President Donald Trump's travel ban takes effect. Some visitors say they are required to go through several security checks to prove they can enter the country legally. President Trump's ban includes 12 countries, mostly in the Middle East and Africa, while citizens from 7 other countries can enter through heightened restrictions. Visitors who previously received a visa before the ban can still travel to the U.S., but new travelers will need to meet specific requirements. Immigration experts say the recent ban is likely more sustainable compared to Trump's ban during his first term in 2017, which faced several legal challenges. Well, the nation's top public research agency is speaking out against the Trump administration over deep cuts to medical research funding. Scientists at the National Institutes of Health sent a letter to the agency's director challenging recent policies that have already terminated nearly $10 billion in grants. They argue the cuts undermine the NIH's mission, waste taxpayer money, and it threatens public health, both in the U.S. and around the world.
Biomedical research saves lives, so of course we want to make it better. But coming in with this without any notion of how it's done and breaking everything, there's a cost to that. And that cost isn't just us. That cost is the American people and global public health more generally.
The NIH says more than 90 researchers, program directors, brand chiefs, and scientific review officers signed the letter, now known as the Bethesda Declaration, named after the agency's headquarters in Maryland. Well, June is National Gun Safety Awareness Month, and Michigan lawmakers are currently seeking to toughen gun laws within the state over the past decade. Michigan's gun death has increased by 25% over the last 10 years alone. Now, here to shed light on rising gun violence statistics is Dr. Catherine Hoops from the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solution. And Dr. Hoops, part of the institution's research shows that safe storage regulation can prevent many gun-related deaths. Welcome to the show. And can you talk to us a little bit about the meaning and importance of safe fire storage?
Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, I think that's the most important thing that we want people to know right now is that, a simple action, a simple step can be life-saving by safely storing firearms in the home. So what safe storage means is that all firearms, every gun, every time, should be stored unloaded, locked up in a safe, and separate from ammunition. And we know from decades of research that this is life-saving. These laws and this practice are preventive against unintentional injuries, suicide, and homicide, especially among youth. So, a simple step like safe storage can really be life-saving.
When I was looking at some of the statistics of following gun violence and just guns in general, firearms in general, I found out that every 11 minutes, someone in this country is killed by a gun. Where's that research coming from?
Yeah, so we know that firearms are the leading cause of death in kids in the U.S. And, our institution and violence prevention researchers across the country look to the best available data to tell, these statistics and understand the problem both nationally and in our individual communities. So that particular statistic comes from the CDC data that helps us to understand the trend nationally.
When we think about how these people are obtaining firearms and guns, what are the requirements to purchase a gun? It seems like so many are floating around in the streets, and then we have the guns that don't have the serial numbers, the ghost guns. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there's a tremendous amount of variability state by state in what's required when someone goes to purchase a firearm in a licensed retailer versus in other settings. So there's a tremendous amount of variability state by state. But one thing that we know, regardless of where a firearm is purchased, how it's purchased, once it ends up in someone's home, then again, safe storage can save lives by preventing unauthorized users from getting access to it. And we also know that safe storage prevents theft, which is a really important portal of entry for crime guns. So safe storage not only keeps guns out of the hands of kids, but it also can help to keep guns out of the hands of criminals and other people who shouldn't have access to them.
Dr. Hoops, we have a ton of people watching us right now. Some have guns, some don't. But for those who don't have guns, why is it important to know this information?
I think everyone has a role here, gun owners and non-gun owners. For non-gun owners, you can still have a conversation with people in your family, in your community, about how they're storing their firearms and share information about the importance of safe firearm storage. For parents in particular, right, the same way that we'll talk to other parents about our kids' allergies or habits before a play date, we can also talk about how firearms are stored in the homes that they're visiting. Really, we just want to help to normalize these conversations, to help to promote kind of a general social normalization of safe and secure firearm storage.
Doc, where can we find more resources about all of this, all the information that we need to know?
Yeah, so we have some really helpful information in a toolkit on our website that can help you to start those conversations. Also, just give additional research, statistics, information for folks to review. And that can be found at t.jh.edu/safe storage, or folks can just search Safe Storage Saves Lives.
Dr. Hops, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we don't always have to like our bosses or our coworkers, but getting along with them can make the workday feel a whole lot smoother. Fox's Ted Linder takes a closer look at what management experts say can be done to help build unity and bridge generational gaps that can create conflict.
Jobs typically bring together employees of different ages and from different backgrounds, which can sometimes cause communication gaps among coworkers from different generations.
Okay, so one of the most common things that we hear a lot in generational conflict is, I don't understand this younger generation, that they're always in their feelings. They're always wanting to share.
On the other hand, management experts like Dr. Jim Gwynn of Texas A&M University say younger people may feel like their older colleagues can come across as mean.
Where that perception is my coworker or my boss is coming down on me. They're singling me out. They don't have time for the niceties and try and build someone up and try and make them feel special.
Dr. Gwynn says it all comes down to tone.
How you can say the exact same thing, but if you use a more intense voice, it completely changes the perception of it.
But while Dr. Gwynn says managers shouldn't coddle everyone, acknowledging their bluntness to their team up front may be helpful.
We're on time crunches, and this is how I communicate, and this is how I do that. A lot of times labeling that will help predict and prevent conflict and keep that from escalating.
But no matter your age, no one likes feeling like they're being talked about behind their back. Instead of wondering, Dr. Gwynn recommends a direct approach to resolve conflict.
Going directly to that person and saying, look, I feel like you're upset with me about X, Y, or Z. So they'll either bluntly tell you, yes, I'm upset about X, Y, and Z, then we can fix it. Or, wow, no, not upset at all. This is just how I work.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Well, Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference continues today after the tech giant unveiled the next software update for its devices. However, the company's biggest announcement is that liquid glass, and it's raising some eyebrows. The liquid glass design adds a glossy sheen look to the icons and widgets on iPhones, adapting a natural light. The company also announced upgrades for its messages platform, allowing users to add backgrounds and polls to group chat. That's pretty cool. Now, the app will also automatically screen calls from unknown numbers. I feel like it does this. I'm always getting a scam-likely message when I have random numbers that are calling me. It does a pretty good job of doing that already. Now, on the AI front, Apple is adding a live translation and more closely integrated support for ChatGPT. We love ChatGPT. ChatGPT is everywhere. I actually heard that it was down a little bit for today and yesterday. Now, the new software is expected to be released in September, so that's when we'll get our hands on this. I'm liking it. I'm liking the new look. I really am. I'm liking the glossy little sheen look we got over here as well. I mean, it's different, but one thing that I will say that I really wish that they would add is if you could customize like the background, like the colors, and then like the text, like you could change like the text color and whatnot. I feel like that's something that we need here. Let's check in with Stephanie Mead because she joins us live with an update on the weather. But I want to see, what do you think about this new iPhone update?
To be honest, I don't think anything of it. I think I rarely do the updates, which I know is pretty bad and why my phone probably is super slow.
Yeah.
I just don't have enough space. I have to start going in and like deleting photos.
I got
and
into
stuff.
that issue yesterday where I just do not have enough space on my phone.
Yeah.
I was recording a video and it just stopped because it said that I was out of storage space.
Yeah, I've had that happen too. Yeah, I think I just have to delete some of the stuff. I also get nervous that like with some of the apps that I have that it's gonna like not update them correctly or that I'm not gonna be able to get into certain apps.
Yeah.
So I usually get kind of like anxious about that too. So I like rarely update my phone.
I think it's because back in the day when we had to update our phones or change phones or whatnot, we had to do so much to get a new phone or to update it.
Yeah, and also like if it does screw my phone up, which I hope it like doesn't, I don't want to have to get a new phone because phones in general are just expensive. And I've had this phone for going on almost 3 or 4 years and I just kind of want to keep her going.
Yeah.
So
What
I don't
iPhone
know.
is that?
I have no, it's a 13.
Oh, 13. That's what I had before I got this one.
Yeah.
I have the 16 now.
Yeah, I think this works just fine. I just make phone calls, text, as long as I can text and get in contact with people.
But it's the camera, Steph.
You know what? I am not big into taking pictures unless it's of Gigi. So as long as she looks good,
You're golden.
I'm fine. But today's a good picture to be a day to be outside. It's like a picture perfect day for us here across Southeast Michigan. Low 70s in the city of Detroit, low 60s Muskegon, low 70s Chicago, Fort Wayne. Dew point readings are low, so it also feels very comfortable outside. So if you have opportunities here and there, maybe take a little walk outside, enjoy your lunch outside. Perfect opportunity to do that. Area of low pressure just a little further north and east of us, bringing in a few showers up near north central Michigan. Nothing here really locally, which is great. And for the most part, we're actually staying kind of smoke free in terms of our sky conditions. So really picture perfect day here. As we head through the day on Wednesday, not a whole lot going on. Thursday, maybe a few passing showers north. There might be a few showers near northern Oakland County, northern Macomb County, St. Clair County. Other than that, if you live downriver or even downtown, I think you're kind of steering clear of any showers. That could change, of course, but our new model runs right now are it's at least indicating that our shower chances are going to stay a little further north of us. 75 today, sun and clouds, a slight breeze, but nothing too egregiously over the top in terms of our wind conditions. We hit our daytime high between like 4 and 7 o'clock. Now, in terms of our smoke, this has been a very popular point of conversation amongst a lot of people, just because our sky conditions have been kind of hazy. A lot of folks have been a little agitated. A lot of the time, the smoke is staying up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So a good portion of the population really isn't going to feel much of any impact from the smoke we have been seeing here locally. Now, when we get those air quality alerts, air quality advisories, a lot of it is for the sensitive groups, folks that have respiratory issues, asthma, for example. That's when they can start feeling agitated from the smoke. There might be a little bit of that going on later on tonight. Nothing that should warrant you to not go outside. I've been seeing a lot of like TikTok posts about people saying stay inside. No, don't stay inside. You can get outside. You can still run around, breathe in the air. You're going to be fine. Now, that holds true into Thursday as well and into Friday. So I think, again, there might be a little smoke in the atmosphere, making for some really pretty sunrises and sunsets. I don't think it's going to create any issues, though, for your health. 58 degrees, mainly clear overall, a nice feel outside. 75 today, 86 tomorrow, so a nice pool day, nice lake day. 76 on Thursday. There is that isolated storm chance, but nothing to cancel plans over again. Have that Fox 2 weather app, so you're able to occasionally check your radar. Otherwise, by Friday, much of the same, where we do see that isolated shower chance or thunder shower chance. That's going to hold true into Father's Day weekend, too, but nothing to cancel any outdoor plans for Father's Day itself. And temperatures remain kind of comfy. We'll be in the 70s Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then finally into Monday, we see daytime highs in the 80s. So that isolated shower chance carries over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we're in the upper 70s by the end of next weekend and early next week.
All right. Thank you, Steph.
Yep.
Well, what would you do if you thought your neighbor was having an affair? Would you tell someone, or would you keep it under the radar? Let's talk about it up next. Welcome back. Well, some sad news from the music world. Sly Stone, the legendary frontman of Sly and the Family Stone, has died at the age of 82.
Thank you for letting me be myself again.
Now, Sly Stone, born Sylvester Stewart, formed his iconic band with his brother and sister back in 1967. The group helped reshape popular music in the 60s and the 70s and was the first major band to feature black and white men and women together. Stone's publicist says he died surrounded by family after battling chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and other health issues. He was 82 years old. Well, an ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs is back on the witness stand today. The defense suggested the woman, who is going by the pseudonym Jane, chose to participate in the lifestyle, which included sex with various partners. Jane responded that her choices were made under a lot of emotional pressure. However, she said that she still loves Combs. She also testified that Combs gave her more than $150,000 during their 3 years together. Before testimony began today, the judge rejected the defense's request for a mistrial. Attorneys for Combs claim prosecutors have presented false testimony. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Well, it ends with us. Actor Justin Baldoni lost his big legal war with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the New York Times. All claims of his $400 million lawsuit against them have been dismissed. Baldoni claims the Hollywood couple tried destroying his career after they attempted to control the direction of the film. The lawsuit also alleged the New York Times article was filled with inaccuracies in an effort to smear his public image.
I cannot even begin to express the love that I feel from everybody out there. When I saw that memoriam, I was like, man, it could have been me. But I don't know why I went through what I went through, but I know my second chance I'm not going to turn down.
Now, Jamie Foxx got emotional at the BTE Awards last night, accepting the Ultimate Icon Award. The Oscar winner delivered a powerful speech addressing his health scares as his two daughters looked on from the crowd, clearly emotional as well. Now, the 57-year-old said he had a second chance following a stroke and a coma, which all led to recovery. New beginnings, second chances. You gotta believe them. Well, time to talk about a few things in today's rundown with Ronya. Miss Shimona, what you got today?
Hi, Bree. Yeah,
Hi.
We have some fun news of the day, right? Starting with, how likely are you to be able to go anywhere without a GPS system? Apparently, Americans not so good at this. Only about half of Americans say they could confidently navigate without a GPS system. And a new poll. This is all
You got to
done
put
by...
on your mic.
Oh yeah,
Let's take a second. Put on the mic.
If you hear a little shuffle, that's because we're mic-less at the moment, and
I
now
forgot
we're
my
mic'd
mic
up.
earlier today too.
You know, things happen. All right. So the new poll done by YouGov shows just 53%. So only half of those surveyed think they're excellent or good at getting around without turn-by-turn directions. And out of those people, 72% claim they're great at actually reading maps. I don't know about that. But anyway, while most people
Who
know
still has a map?
I mean, hey, I'm not even going to say anything because it will say my age. While most people know their neighborhoods well, only 14% still use a GPS at home.
Where do you get a map from?
Oh my gosh, Bree. Okay, now I have to chime in. Okay. I remember the days we got on the freeway and we assumed we were going the right way. We were following signs, whether it was north, south, east, or west. And that was it. And I remember the days it was just 75, 696, wherever we went. Remember this time?
How do you know which exit to get off?
Oh, you just assume. So you say, hey, you know what? If I'm going to Toledo, I'm just hopping on 75 and going south, and I'm reading those signs until I get there.
So your road trips were probably an extra hour.
Oh, I've driven across the country, all over, without a map and without GPS.
Oh,
and I
wow.
remember there was a time I stopped for a map, and I still have that map laminated and in my little memory book.
What was it a map to?
Oh, the entire country. Every single
like
freeway
and whatnot.
Everything you need to know.
Wow.
And I still know how to read
I don't
one.
think I could follow that. But when I was younger, we had MapQuest.
Remember the days when you'd have to print stuff on MapQuest?
You have to print it out. And whatnot.
Turn by turn on paper, and you're like, what exit?
But now I have my GPSs just on my windshield.
Now you got Bree, make a left turn in 0.5 miles.
Yeah. I mean, I don't use it around here, but if I'm going someplace new.
I mean, I do use Waze, but for other reasons.
Yeah, because it tells you where
the cops are.
Yeah.
It tells you where they
See
are.
where those radars are. Thanks for putting me on the spot. But yeah, that's the only reason why I use Waze. All right.
Everybody uses Waze.
Yeah, you're right. That's the only reason why people use Waze, right? I don't know. Hashtag us.
But now
Fox
they
2
do
Detroit
that
Live.
on Apple Maps too.
Yeah, I mean,
they let you know when there's like a obstruction.
Oh, it does. Apple Maps.
Yeah.
Never knew.
It's just connected to my phone. It's just easier.
Okay, you're gonna have to show me when we get off here.
Yeah.
All right, this is kind of interesting here. This story will have a lot of people talking. It already has, actually. So a neighborhood mystery is heating up online, and that's because a woman from the UK suspects her next door neighbor is having an affair.
Ooh.
And somehow she thinks she's now responsible for this. So she says the neighbor's husband works nights, and every night she sees the wife picked up by another man and leaves, looks dressed to kill, and comes home around midnight. So, of course, speculation starts brewing, and now this woman is torn and spilling the tea online and asking others if she should say something or stay silent. The internet's verdict? Stay in your lane.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Especially if it's your neighbor, you know?
And you really want to have a conflict with a neighbor?
No.
I don't care what they're doing. I mean, maybe if they're ruining my lawn, but aside from that, hey, you do what you got to do.
Yeah. But I feel like I would drop little hints. I'd be like,
hey, how was last night?
That car that's coming in front of your house.
Oh, Bree, it can't be shady.
There's like a white car that's
coming
in front of your house.
That's you might as well just tell her.
No.
Or tell him, actually.
Drop hints. But...
She's the one, yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here.
Oh.
All right.
All right, Bree.
All right, Ronya. Well, that's all for me this hour. I will see you back here at 3.
Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday, June 10th. I'm your host, Jamie Sherrod, and you're watching Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
Over the past year, we've reported stories involving U of M in pro-Palestinian protests. And now the University of Michigan has cut ties with a security firm accused of spying on pro-Palestinian students. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch has the details.
I think this is a continuation of what we've been seeing nationally.
Attorney Amir Macklett, who represented several pro-Palestinian protesters arrested during demonstrations at the University of Michigan's Diag last May and cleared of those charges last month, says canceling contracts with security companies who use concerning tactics is appropriate and applauded. His clients claim they were followed, even harassed by some of those undercover teams in Ann Arbor in recent months.
They've spent nearly $1 million, going after students, wrongfully monitoring them, recording them, and it's totally unjustified.
Records show AmeriShield, which is the parent company of Detroit-based City Shield, was paid more than $850,000 for its services. We are told the private security was hired to report suspicious incidents in high-traffic areas, not to conduct surveillance. The shutdown of this encampment helping to highlight what's been described as questionable behavior.
Well, I think we saw some videos online of one of these private investigative employees acting as if they had some sort of a mental challenge or physical handicap in a way to not maybe raise suspicion that they're actually watching the targeted individual.
The university's interim president commenting on that employee's alleged actions in a letter to the community. It said in part that what was happening was disturbing, unacceptable, and unethical, and we will not tolerate it, adding that going forward, we are terminating all contracts with external vendors to provide plainclothes security on campus, end quote. The decision certainly appreciated, but Attorney Macklett says more needs to be done here.
I think the university's got to be held accountable. They need to have some transparency. We need to have oversight over the spending of these universities, and these independent investigations, must happen against the university, not against the students.
Now, Fox 2 did reach out to City Shield Security Services for comment, and they did send us a statement. They say that they are aware of this, they are investigating, and that they take all complaints seriously. In the meantime, the university's interim president says if you experience inappropriate behavior as a result of some sort of interaction with one of these private security companies, you're asked to reach out to campus police right away so they can investigate. Reporting from Ann Arbor, I'm Robin Murdoch, Fox 2 News.
Well, 3 students who survived the 2023 Michigan State University shooting reached nearly $30 million in settlements with the school. Rural Law, who represents 2 victims, secured almost $17 million for their clients, who were both critically injured. Another survivor, who was paralyzed from the chest down, received a $13 million settlement. That victim will also receive free tuition, room and board, and health insurance. 5 people were wounded, 3 were killed before the shooter turned the gun on himself. A woman has been charged with violating Michigan's safe storage law after a shooting on a school bus injured a student in Redford Township last month. Maya Prim was arraigned this morning. She's accused of not properly securing a gun that was used on board a bus outside of Thurston High School on May 7th. Police say a 15-year-old boy who is related to Prim had the gun unsecured in his backpack. When he took it out and was handling it, police say it went off and hit another student in the hand. In addition to the charges against Prim, the teen who had the gun has also been charged with several offenses, including careless discharge of a weapon causing injury. Well, 2 people taken into custody earlier this morning after a police chase in Warren ended with a crash. This all started around 1 a.m. Police pulled over a car near 8 Mile in MacArthur for speeding, and they say the man appeared intoxicated. And that was before he stopped and took off. Officers followed and stop sticks were deployed, but the chase continued into Detroit, where the driver eventually crashed in an alley. Investigators say one passenger who tried to get out of the car before that crash was critically injured and taken to the hospital. We are told the driver and the female passenger tried to run away after the crash, but both were caught. Police also found what they believe are narcotics in that vehicle. Charges in the case still pending. A police chase spanning 3 days in more than a dozen cities in Metro Detroit ends in this arrest caught on camera. That man who had been driving a semi was taken into custody at Market and Winder in Detroit yesterday afternoon. According to sources, the driver is accused of breaking into an ex's home in Dearborn Saturday morning. Now, when police arrived, they say he hit a cruiser and led them on a chase through multiple cities. The chase was called off several times due to safety concerns. The suspect is now being held by Dearborn police and is expected to be arraigned on various felony charges. A man from Missouri is behind bars after striking an MSP patrol car Sunday night. This happened on westbound I-94 in Lincoln Township. Now, we are told the trooper was outside their vehicle conducting a traffic stop at the top. Fortunately, they weren't hurt there. Police say the 33-year-old driver was under the influence and is now awaiting charges. A Detroit mom caught off guard during a Zoom court hearing after she was called out for making a sandwich.
My daughter is sick. I had to keep her home from school. I'm just trying to feed her. That is it.
Terrible, but you're in court. Ms. Outerbridge, I'm sorry that your daughter is sick. But again, you're in court, okay? And we're going to treat it as such.
Well, Asia Outerbridge was appearing for a hearing on a misdemeanor for allegedly having an open alcohol container as a passenger. During the hearing, she was trying to care for her sick young daughter. 36th District Court Judge Sean Perkins also criticized her attire and then kicked her out of the Zoom. Outerbridge says she waited hours for her hearing and feels like the judge could have had some mercy. But she also learned an important lesson.
As an apology, I could have came better prepared and I could have handled it a lot better.
Well, Outerbridge says she'll make sure she's dressed and ready for her next hearing. It is a program that helps give people a fresh start after past mistakes. Today, Project Clean Slate celebrated its 15,000th expungement. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly was there earlier today. We'll have the story from her in just a bit here.
Well, good afternoon. The city of Detroit celebrating a major milestone. It was just announced at a press conference that just wrapped up moments ago that the city of Detroit now has 15,000 expungements. That means thousands of people here in the city of Detroit now have a clean slate. That may not sound like a big deal, but it is major for these people who have had some sort of criminal record, a black mark on their record, and now they're able to move forward because that record has been expunged. It's not just a victory for the person who got an expunged record, it's also a victory for their family members. In the past, many people who have had some sort of black mark on their record, a felony perhaps, were not able to find a good paying job because of that black mark. But now, because the record has been clean, that clean slate, they now have an opportunity to reach further. So coming up tonight at 5, we're going to hear from people who have had that success with a clean slate by getting their record expunged and what it means not only for them, but also their family members. We're also going to hear from the chief of police and what that means for the city. So don't go away. We're going to have much more on this story coming up tonight at 5 and also at fox2detroit.com. Back to you.
All right, looking forward to that story. Thank you, Ingrid. Well, another Sheetz is coming to Metro Detroit. The Royal Oak City Commission voted last night approving a rezoning plan for a site at 14 Mile and Coolidge. Sheetz is trying to expand in Metro Detroit, but a number of other communities have said no. Some say the 24-hour convenience store change would bring extra lighting, noise, and traffic to the area. Well, coming up, a very special afternoon for some Redford students and the Detroit Lions. We'll have that story for you after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. Your time right now is 2:12 as we take a live look out at the city. Oh, look at that. We got some boats on the water, 72 degrees out there, clear skies. Stephanie Mead here with us now with a look at the forecast. I want to be on somebody's boat, Steph.
I know. I want to be on a boat. I want to be by the water or by the pool. I think tomorrow's going to be a better day for that than today. I mean, today is nice, but it is a little cool, I think, to be out on the water, especially on the Detroit River.
Oh, yeah.
I think once you get closer to that, it just feels like almost 5 to 10 degrees cooler. So a lot of people say. So
well, somebody's out there living their best life.
Exactly.
They should have waited until tomorrow. Maybe they'll be out there
tomorrow.
tomorrow,
they're probably fishing, though. I know the Detroit River is like a popular place to get fish. I don't know what kind.
And the fishermen don't care.
They don't.
And they'll be out there as early as like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
and
I know.
Yeah, they're dedicated.
That is a sport where people do take it very seriously.
Yes.
But it's a nice day to be out on the water. Maybe a little breezy. Temps are in the 70s, 72 up near Port Huron, 72 in Detroit, 73 in Toledo. Little bit cooler western parts of the state, upper 50s up near Mackinac Island, which is kind of crazy to say because it is June. 63 in Traverse City, 64 in Muskegon. So it's a little bit cooler along the lake. They are also dealing with some lighter showers in northern and central parts of the state. So a little bit gloomier, which is why we have those cooler temperatures, area of low pressure finally departing. And a lot of us, I think, closer to southeast Michigan see a really nice day today. Even better day tomorrow. We finally start to see some of that summertime warmth Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. And then Thursday, we have our next chance of a few showers. Some of it could clip northern parts of like Oakland County, Macomb County, St. Clair County. I think if you live downriver, closer to the city, isolated at best. And I think that's going to be our trend moving forward, even into Thursday and Friday. Most are going to stay dry. We have a lot of dry time, but we do have that isolated shower or thunder shower chance. 75 today, little breezy, so that might be the only issue we see this afternoon. We see our peak between now and about 7 o'clock. And everyone's been talking about this wildfire smoke, which has been causing issues for some, not all. We don't have an air quality alert or air quality advisory, so we have that going for us, which is great. But later on tonight into early tomorrow, there might be a little bit of agitation for those sensitive groups, especially for those that have asthma, respiratory issues. You might notice it a little bit more, but that should not deter you from going outside. So don't let the folks on social media tell you don't go outside because of the wildfire smoke. You are going to be fine over the next couple of days. That holds true Thursday into Friday as well. So this wildfire smoke is going to provide us actually with some very pretty sunrises and sunsets, but a lot of that is trapped up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So it's really not going to have much of an impact us on here, at least closer to the surface. 58 tonight for an overnight low. It's going to be comfortable, so another evening you could possibly have the windows open. A little warm and muggy tomorrow, mid-80s, and then Thursday, mid-70s with our next approaching system. And again, I think our northern communities in northern Oakland, northern Macomb County, St. Clair County are going to feel that potential for a higher risk of some showers, a few thunder showers. And we're not anticipating any severe weather with these batches that come through. We have that isolated chance taking us through this weekend. I think Father's Day as a whole should be mainly dry and actually kind of comfy. Most are going to be in the upper 70s to near 80. And then by Sunday, we're finally approaching 80 degrees. So not bad over the next couple of days, even though we do have that shower chance. We do have a lot of dry time too. So don't let that deter you from getting outside. And then finally seeing some 80s as we head through early next week.
You weren't kidding. Tomorrow's going to be real nice.
It is, yeah. Finally some pool weather.
Yes.
You know,
All
and
right.
we've been lacking that, so we'll get it here and there.
I need to find somebody's pool, somebody's boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Be out on some type of water tomorrow.
Yes.
Thanks, Steph. Well, a special day for a group of students in Redford getting a chance to meet some Detroit Lions players. They stopped by their school to help students get a hands-on lesson, not in football, but in technology. Fox 2's Camille Lemire takes us there.
Or flying drones with the Lions players.
A pretty cool assignment at the Redford Service Academy. The school's media department even interviewing the players about the experience.
Obviously, you know, this is the future of America. You know, they're going to be the ones dealing with all this technology and AI and the drones and everything. So it's cool that they're going to jumpstart on that.
It started in a classroom, learning.
An understanding of the technology that allows them to fly, an understanding of the technology that allows them to
connect to the things they need.
What we're trying to do is just expose the kids to as much technology as we can.
Then it was on to the hands-on part of the day, flying the drones in the gymnasium and then outside.
It's almost like a preview for our LEAP camp. My LEAP camp starts June 23rd and it runs through July 21st. So we have the Detroit Lions rookies and some of the alumni that came out today, and they came out to interact with our kids. 1, 2, 3,
Honestly, this is all new information for me. Like I'm learning just as much as they are. So, yeah, it's a cool hands-on activity, just learning how to fly some drones.
What was it like to fly the drone?
It was fun to control the drum and everything, to see it go up and do a lot of stuff.
And fun to hang out with some of the Detroit Lions.
They're very happy that we're here, but we're learning just as much from them, and we're just as happy to be here. So it's been a cool experience.
In Redford, Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
How cool was that? Love it. Well, coming up, increasing access to capital to open doors to ownership and opportunity in the city of Detroit. We'll speak to the man working to change the future of Detroit's real estate right after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. Your time now is 2:20 as we take this live look out over the river right now. A little breezy out there, 72 degrees. If you're enjoying today, just wait until tomorrow. Well, making ownership possible in the city of Detroit by overcoming one of the biggest barriers, access to capital. Joining me now is Daryl Clement, CEO of Intercapital Funding. Welcome to the show, Daryl.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so you call Intercapital Funding the bank for the unbankable. What does that mean, and who are the people you're helping that traditional banks often overlook?
The majority of our clients that come to us are been overlooked by the bank due to credit issues or the value of the current property in its current state. So we get the clients prepared to be able to be bankable. So they're unbankable when they first come to us, bad credit, bad asset, and then we ship them off to the banks once completed.
All right, so they don't leave the same way they came in. We love to hear that.
That's totally true.
Why is it still so hard for Black and brown developers or self-employed entrepreneurs to get that access to capital?
Because the majority of banks are in a when you're dealing with a bank, you're in a certain box. So you got to have good credit. The asset has to be at a certain value, and it has to be, lack of a better word, in a certain neighborhood. The majority of our clients, they come, they find a property, fix it up, and then get it become bankable or financeable. So we're the bridge to that financing.
And talk a little bit more about how your approach is different than those traditional banks.
Because we take the unwanted. We look at we don't just look at just your credit. We look at the asset and how do we get it. Because we work the deal backwards. We work to the fact that we know what we can do with it once it's completed. So we prepare the clients to either be refinanced, or most of them are in the market to sell it or possibly living it themselves over time.
And you're helping people not just buy homes, but build that wealth, as you mentioned. Why is real estate such a powerful path to that financial empowerment, especially in the city of Detroit?
Because it doesn't move. No matter what, people are going to need somewhere to stay. So I tell majority of my clients, even like the first time client, I tell them, get a multifamily first, a 2-family, a 4-family, because no matter what, you can go home, you can rent out one, live in the other one, or if you want to put your kids out, they can live in one, you can live in the other one. So it's better to learn from that aspect, then get your dream home once you've accumulated enough houses.
And how is intercapital funding helping with neighborhood revitalization in the city?
Because majority of our clients going after the unwanted properties, the one that's been blighted, sitting there. Prime example, like the Detroit Land Bank. A lot of their properties, banks won't finance those, and a lot of wholesalers won't finance them as well. But we have private investors that come in, finance it, get past the land bank's restrictions, and then once they do that, then they can get traditional financing from the bank or whoever they decide to take it to.
And you're truly doing some incredible work here, from the ownership to the neighborhood revitalization. Can you share a success story, someone who came to you when the bank said no, and how they're building something great in Detroit now?
Well, I had a client that came to me. She bought a house from the land bank. You know, the dream of owning their first house, they pay like $1,000 for it or something like that. They figure, hey, I got my first house. And then when they thought they can go find financing for it, they got hit with a harsh reality that the bank told them we can't do it.
Yeah.
So then once she came to us, she provided us with a scope of work, the breakdown of all the costs, and then we got her funding, and then she refinanced it into a long 30-year mortgage.
Wow. We love to hear that. Many more of that to come. Many first-time buyers, just affording a home, it feels out of reach, and they don't even like to think about it. You talked about the duplex situation or a multi-unit property. How can that change the equation and create long-term income?
Because you're going into it, developing income by doing multiple units at one time, to where when you go in and do a single family, it's just you and you paying rent. Money is going out and not coming in. But if you got a couple of units at once, then you got steady flow income coming in. I mean, it's not going to be easy. You're going to get those hard tenants or whatever, but it's reality itself. But if you vet your tenants correctly, then you know you got a steady flow of income coming in every month. And then one pays, if you got a mortgage on the property, that rental unit pays your mortgage for the month.
And talk a little bit more about some other barriers people may face. We talked about the tenants. What else can be a little bit challenging here once you do overcome that, getting that capital?
Their down payment, because a lot of people don't like to save. So then a lot of lenders come across saying you can get it with 3% down, money down like that. But I don't think that's the best way to go. You should have at least about 20% of whatever property you buy, so that way you got like a nest egg to be able to protect yourself if something goes left.
So 20% is the number you want to have saved, because you do have those programs that, you know, they'll offer maybe 0 down or 3% down, as you mentioned. But should you prioritize putting more down if you can?
Oh, take the 3, but make sure you got 17 in the back, because something gonna come up. And when you got your 17 saved up, I tell clients, don't go buy new furniture. You know, we all want new furniture when we get our new house. We don't want to take the old stuff that mama left for us, but you know, you really want to save up and then do it a little bit at a time.
Okay, that's some good advice. I think I needed to hear that. What do you love most about what you do?
Seeing people smile once they get their house completed. Because a lot of people, when they come to us, we're pretty much the we're the third pick. We never get chose first or second. But after they get turned down so much, someone's cousin, uncle, or what have you, call say, hey, call in the capital funding. And then once we can get them funded and they get it completed, and then we refinance to a long 30-year mortgage, then that's the that's the joy out of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure they regret not picking you first once they do end up connecting with you eventually. You said Intercapital, you've been around for 5 years.
Yes.
What has it been like? How many people do you think you've helped so far?
About 200.
Wow.
About 200.
And what are your goals? Any future plans?
Oh, continue to grow. I mean, we plan on going from state to state and continue to help people, and then continue to tighten up and revamp our model so we can get better and better, so more and more people could have access to capital.
All right, love that. If people want to find more information or keep up with you, how can they do that?
Give me a call at Intercapital Funding. You can go on our website, www.intercapitalfunding.com, or you can call us direct, 248-955-1234.
All right, Daryl, thank you so much for joining us and for all that you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course. That is all for us here on Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. Thanks for joining us. Jay Towers is up next. Have a great day.
Towers in the morning, 100.3 WNIC.
It's Tuesday. It's time for cross exam. Allison, how's cross exam work?
We're going to ask each other 3 questions. It can be silly. Sometimes they're serious. It's always fun. Play along in the car with your coworkers. It's a fun dinner table thing with your family. Use your own names or use ours.
Use ours. Fine. So for us, the only possible answer would be Jay, Allison, or Chelsea. So we'll go through these and see who would do what. The vacation edition. I don't know why I'm having a third thing today. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Who's most likely to ruin the entire vacation by refusing to eat anywhere that doesn't serve plain chicken?
What's plain chicken?
I guess, in other words, who would be the pickiest with the food?
I got it. Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Who's most likely to cause a full TSA shutdown because they forgot about something suspicious in their carry-on? Okay, think about that one. And question number 3, who of Jay, Allison, and Chelsea would act like they're off the grid but is secretly posting filtered beach thirst traps every 4 hours?
That is so any one of us.
Yeah. Duh. All right, we'll go back and see. Who's most likely to ruin the entire vacation by refusing to eat anywhere that doesn't serve plain chicken? Or who's the picky eater basically on the like, it's hard to say. I think any of us, God knows when we're hungry, we find a way to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was tough.
I don't know who. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll say me. I don't know. Because there are certain things I just won't eat. And if it was like a really exotic restaurant, I would not want to go there.
Yeah. I said,
I do like plain normal food. I don't like anything weird.
Yeah. No, I got that. I had the same dilemma. I have a lot of things that I won't eat anymore,
right?
But I can always find something. Yeah. So I usually try to not be difficult, but I did say me just because I do seem to be the one who, on whatever day it is, doesn't eat this.
What'd you say,
That
Chelsea?
is true. Like you guys, I thought this one was really hard. Sometimes you, Jay, go on these kicks of like, I'm only eating grilled chicken breasts and cucumbers and stuff like that. And if you were on one of those, then I could see you being the picky eater.
Okay. Like food, Smoky Mountain Food, Faith and Fun went to a restaurant where they ate what looked like delicious shrimp, but they were like in a sauce that you peel and eat, but they had the heads and the eyes on them. And I was like, we'll never eat that. And then they all ate tongue. And I won't eat that.
No. God,
So
no.
It was 2 dings.
Yeah, no.
On what probably was a pretty good seafood place.
Tongue, I would have to be tricked into. I would have to not know that that's what it is.
It's roast beast. Question number 2. Who's most likely to cause a full TSA shutdown because they forgot about something suspicious in their carry-on? Well, that's Allison.
Yeah, that one was easy.
That's Allison.
Yeah.
Really easy.
Yeah, I think I've done it.
I think you have.
You've shut down TSA a couple times, then escorted to that private room.
Oh my God, it's a thing.
They're always looking for something that's not there.
Always.
Yeah. And last but not least, who would act like they're off the grid but is secretly posting filtered beach thirst traps every 4 hours? I mean, we are the least likely people in this building to be posting filtered beach thirst traps. Not really our style, nor do we have the bodies for it.
Yeah.
But that said, I don't know. I only said Allison because you are the best at posting pictures when we get to events before we even set up and plug equipment in.
It was, I have to have something to do.
I know.
There's not much.
Well, no one's asking you to plug the equipment in either.
There's not much I can do
Don't
to
feel
help
bad.
you guys. So I got to do something. And that's why I said me too. Although I have never figured out how to apply a filter, and maybe I should based on the last few pictures I posted.
Oh my gosh.
No, people like you natural. All natural. All natural.
So I don't think Allison has ever posted a thirst trap, except for your auto
I did
show.
at the car giveaway.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did. I was like, check out how skinny I am.
Okay, you have done that. But I went more for Allison because she would blow our cover of being off the grid and like totally forget and then post. Where
Right,
me and
right.
you would be much more mindful of like, hey, we can't let anyone think that we have phone service. And
Yeah,
Allison's
we're off
like,
the
I need
grid.
a couple likes.
Oops, I forgot.
Yeah.
My bad.
I love when people write emails. I'm going to be out of town from Thursday through Sunday, and I'll have spotty cell. You're full of it, spotty cell service or limited email. Just say I don't want to check my emails because I'm out of town.
Yeah.
There's nowhere on the planet where you can't get cell service or emails anymore.
Okay, I will say up at my cottage, it is very spotty and you have to go into town.
You'll drive to a Sheets and you'll get the email. All right, there you go.
Do a sheets. That's awesome.
By the way, that's in the news here.
Is
And,
it?
coming up next on WNIC. All right, so what happened on this day back in the day? Let's get. Oh, you okay?
Sorry.
Let's get right into it. Back in the day, 82 years ago, in 1943, the ballpoint pen was patented.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't give me a sound effect of that, huh? That's the one thing we're not going to get in trouble for. Here, I'll
Listen, we're good job. Were we using the feather in the ink prior to that?
I think so. What was that called? The ink? What was that?
What was that?
Yeah,
it had a name.
That pen has a name.
All the way up to 1943.
Well, wow. Was there a non-ballpoint pen?
I think people were using pencils.
Pencils?
Oh,
yeah. 31 years ago in 1994, Speed was released with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves.
Is that crazy? I've never seen that.
There's a bomb on the bus. You ever saw it?
And they can't go under a certain speed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that was on like TNT or E or something like not that long ago. Jay always talks about what a great movie it is. The only thing I was having a hard time with is that it now looks old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen.
And that, I don't know, it was kind of wrecking it for me, so I didn't stick around.
You know what else isn't good? Speed 2.
Oh.
Speed 2 is not good. I think it's Speed, but it's on a boat.
Oh.
Now,
Some
the boat
things just
can't
don't need a
slow down.
sequel.
Yeah, right. It was Dennis Hopper was the bad guy. Remember him?
He was a good bad guy.
He was great, yeah. 20 years ago in 2005, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was released. That's the movie that Angelina told her kids, that's where Mommy and Daddy met.
Yeah.
And fell in love.
And someday I will ruin his life.
That's right. In 2007, 18 years ago, the final episode of The Sopranos aired.
I just watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I re-binged it from beginning to end, and I was thinking about like if Chelsea, because it is the greatest show ever created.
Yeah.
But the way we are fed things now, things move so fast. So I was like, if Chelsea were to sit down and binge this, how would she feel about it? Because it doesn't. I mean, they'll do entire episodes of just establishing
a character. Yeah.
So it's
but it would also give you a nice meaty.
Oh yeah.
Couple months.
Sure.
Of watching one show.
A lot of murder.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am in the middle of Grey's right now.
What you've seen already?
No, I've only seen through like season 6. I'm on season 15 now.
She's really putting in the work.
I am. And there's a new season 21 hits Netflix on Saturday. So I've really got my work cut out for me.
She's busy till 2026.
In 2022, Justin Bieber announces he has Ramsay Hunt syndrome and had to cancel the rest of his tour to focus on treatment.
I thought he had Bell's palsy.
Oh, there goes Ramsay Hunt.
Ramsay Hunt.
I feel like
he had Bell's palsy too.
Do those kind of go hand in hand or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But Detroit was one of his last shows before he had to cancel the tour.
All right, there's your back in the day. On 100.3 WNIC, Dearborn, Detroit. It's time for Hollywood Minute.
Yeah, Ramsay Hunt, facial nerve stuff. Affects the geniculate ganglion.
I like it when you
get
use
all
medical terms.
Yeah.
Hollywood Minute this time around is brought to you by David Feminino. Get David, get paid.
Taylor Swift recently filed a restraining order against a 45-year-old Colorado resident who she alleges has visited her LA home multiple times in the last year. She is fearing for her safety along with her family. He has made claims that they share a child together. They have a personal romantic relationship. He has been incarcerated before, and the temporary restraining order has been granted.
It is really scary when people completely lose their ability to be in reality.
Yeah.
Think those things.
Yeah, right.
Very scary.
He changed the home address on his driver's license to her LA home.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's far gone.
So to promote the new movie Materialists, Dakota Johnson appeared alongside Chris Evans at the Today Show, and Craig Melvin had asked both of them, what are some dating non-negotiables? Now remember, her and Chris Martin just broke up. Here were both of their answers.
It's a non-negotiable. I would say you must love dogs.
Oh.
Gotta love dogs. Not a dog person. What are we doing?
Okay. Well, Dakota, you check that box.
I don't like not a.
That's concise.
Can you clean that up for me? I don't know what she said.
Not an A.
Oh, don't be an A.
Don't yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's kind of a duh. Isn't that everyone's non-negotiable?
I know, but it makes you wonder, like, was Chris Martin really kind of a big jerk?
Oh, about dogs?
No, just about being an A.
No, just in general.
Okay.
Just a jerk in general, not about dogs.
I'm just worried about the dogs.
Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the New York Times was dismissed yesterday
Hey, that's
by
a big deal,
judge.
right?
Yes. Now, some of his claims can be amended by June 23rd. Her lawyers are calling this dismissal a total victory and a complete vindication. However, a lot of people are saying this isn't over. Like, it's not done.
Oh, it's just begun.
Well, good, because we're certainly not sick of it.
And finally, Katy Perry was surprised as a fan jumped on stage with her at a show in Sydney. He threw her arm around her, started jumping to the beat of the song. Katy did keep it cool. She kept singing, went into another dance move where security was able to swoop in and get the guy. Shortly after, she said, well, there's never going to be another show like that, so enjoy that, Sydney.
See, why do these jerks keep ruining it? You know, because now you can't ever be front row anymore.
I know.
You know, it's always like 15 feet and the fence, and it's like, eh.
Yep. TV tonight, we have Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. And
Yesterday was my other best friend from high school's birthday, my friend Kim, who just turned 50.
Oh.
So we're all in the 50 club now.
Okay. Wow.
And so my friend Jay was in last week. I told Jay we went to dinner. So I said, hey, let's make a video for Kim, and I'll send it to her on her birthday, which I did. And I did this little, like a cameo almost.
Indeed, in Detroit. And we hope you have a great day. Hello to Dennis. And we were just checking our teeth and making sure. No lipstick. No lipstick on the teeth. And have a wonderful birthday. We love you. That's it. Bye.
Because we used to have to check our teeth for lipstick when we did the morning announcements on TV in high school.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's always been the joke.
I love that other Jay was just like on the
You know what he was
side,
doing? I
like
said,
in the
I'm
corner.
Coming out of your neck.
Yeah, I said, hey, I'm going to do this video. I said, and we'll surprise her that you're here because he's never been in Detroit. I've known him my whole life.
Right.
And like as soon as I start, he sticks his head in. I'm like, well, there's the surprise.
Yeah.
It threw my whole thing off.
Oh, that's funny.
No one can ever follow your directions.
No one follows directions.
I do.
No one.
I feel like I follow your directions.
No, you do. Yeah, you do. You do a good job.
Oh, look at that.
Good job.
Slow clap for Allison.
Slow clap for the Martinet. Let me see if you can identify this sound effect.
Ooh. No.
Yeah, that's the buttons of an 8-track machine.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh, for as often as I hear 8-track noises, I'm not familiar with. I'm familiar with the chunk right in the middle of a chorus.
Right. Right.
Because it's got to stop and restart while you're in the middle of singing. So, Warren has an extensive 8-track collection. Said no one ever except right here.
Yeah.
So he spent a lot of time amassing them. You know who helped contribute to his 8-track collection?
Oh.
Mark, our engineer.
That's right. He brought him a bunch of them.
A bunch of them. So in the last couple of years, he's not cared very much, which is nice. So now I'm like a 8-track museum in my house, which has never been fun for me. But
how many would you say he has?
Well, it's interesting because he did over the weekend sell his 8-tracks. So
all of them?
That's the thing. I guess not. He decided he's going to hang on to a few.
Okay.
Sure.
But he sold 500 8-tracks.
Wow.
Oh my God.
500?
Or 58.
Do you feel bad for the person whose house they're now going into, whose husband went and picked them up?
Apparently he has like a 70s garage, so they're going to...
Oh, okay.
And Warren's big thing was he didn't make any money on this, as you can imagine, because why would you? But his whole thing was he wanted them to go somewhere where someone would care. And
Always, of course.
Come on. But so a couple things. When this whole 8-track thing started, I was like, I can't have those visible in my house.
Yeah.
I bought this really nice armoire from Amazon. It's in the kitty's bedroom. They're all shoved in there behind doors. Nobody knows what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the last couple of years, when he hasn't cared that much and he's brought it up, like maybe I'll unload them. And I'm like, oh, please do, please do. So a couple of things. First, I lit a fire under him to sell them on accident. I took a shelf away from him in our closet.
Okay.
He had shoes on it. I took the shoes off and I put them on the floor. I said, I have too much bedding, blankets, comforters. I'm like, I don't even want them like on the shelves in the closet, but I don't have anywhere to put them. So I took his shelf away, and it really bothered him that his shoes were on the floor. He was determined to get his shelf back. So he went and cleaned out the armoire so I could put blankets in there, which is what you should be doing with an armoire.
That's what you do with an armoire.
Right. So he told me that after the fact.
Or soup recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Seinfeld joke. So so first of all, he sold almost 500. He still has some left. And it turns out behind all the ugly 8-tracks, he's got a huge cassette collection that he's not letting go of.
No.
Yeah. So he only gave me back half my armoire.
Yeah.
He's keeping and I was like,
does he even have a player for the cassette tapes?
He's got a cassette player. He was listening to Tupac on cassette last night.
Do you know how much he made off the 500?
$50.
$50?
It wasn't about money. He originally tried to sell them with the player and something.
Yeah, like a package.
And carousels for 100, and nobody bid.
Nobody bid.
So
he didn't.
That is so sad.
He didn't sell Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, did he?
I don't think
because that 8-track is $1,250.
Are you serious?
Did you not?
He has it.
Does he have Star Wars themes from Star Wars? New York, New York.
Yeah.
A Bridge Too Far, The Exorcist.
That one I don't know.
That's selling for $1,200.
Is Grease on there? Because he plays that a lot. That's how he tries to lure me out to the front.
He plays
Grease.
The Grease soundtrack.
The Grease soundtrack on 8-track?
Yeah, and it works because I do come out. I'm like, is that
Do you have
Grease?
a whole little dance?
Yeah. I'm into it.
Let me see. I don't see. Okay. Yeah, $29.99.
For Grease?
For Grease.
Wow, I'm going to have to go home and make sure I think he kept
And you
Grease.
have to buy it from Malaysia.
Oh, wow. Warren didn't realize what he was sitting on.
No, 20. Listen, if he could come up with even 10 that are worth $30.
I know he has Dark Side of the Moon. I think he has it even twice. I know this.
Be a worldwide seller.
But he could like, you know what he could do? Because let's say it's not in the best condition. He could undercut the $1,200 guy by just saying, I'll sell it to you for $100 and make $100.
Yeah, he could. He probably wouldn't. He'd be like, will you just promise to care about it? Then you can just have it.
You need him. He needs an 8-track manager, basically.
He does. Finally, when he sends me a text over the weekend that this guy's coming to get the 8-tracks. And this is the first time hearing about it. So I'm like, that is so awesome. And that's all I say. And then I think about it for a second and I'm like, unless he's coming to murder you, try to not get murdered.
Right.
Because I was like, who's really going to come to our house to pick up 8 tracks? This all sounds very fishy.
Was it Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace?
It was...
Or eBay.
eBay pickup.
eBay pickup?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know that was an option on eBay
it is.
now.
It is eBay pickup.
Huh.
Here's the thing, though. And I told, because my daughter sold something on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, why are you selling things on Facebook Marketplace and having people come to your house? She's like, they vet people really well.
Oh, no, they don't.
And you got to have a picture and a profile. So, like, what are you going to do? Like,
There's so many scammers on there.
come and take my sofa? I'm like, okay.
I know.
Whatever.
You think like that, though, right after
You have to.
Right after I said that is awesome, I was like, he's going to get murdered. And the last thing I said to him was like, awesome. You invited a stranger over to get those ugly 8-tracks out of my house.
What you could do so that it's not a huge inconvenience to either your daughter or to him is you meet at the front of your complex or whatever.
Or at the Sheets.
At the Sheets. Yeah. Gas station nearby.
Meet you at Sheets.
That's going to be our meeting
It's
place.
well lit, loud, and food 24/7. All right, 100.3.
That's incredible.
Time for That's Incredible. Incredible stories from around the world and beyond. We'll start with this one first. 2 cows in Canada tied the knot on Friday. The owners of the miniature Highland cow didn't want it to be lonely and went looking for a mate. So it did an arranged marriage. And here's a little bit of the ceremony.
Muriel, came to the farm, and then we needed to get her a friend, and then we needed to get her a future boyfriend. And we went on a search for Rhett to find the most beautiful, handsome boy for her. And we kept having guests saying to Lexi and I, you really need to have a wedding for these cows. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not trample others' grass. Rhett, do you promise to nuzzle only Muriel? Share your hands, stand protectively beside her when strolling.
That's incredible.
That is so sweet.
They could have Chelsea do that ceremony.
They could have. No one's asked me to ordain their wedding lately. It's been crickets over here.
Video went viral of the owner of the Breaking Bad house yelling at fans and spraying them with a hose. She put the house on the market in January for $4 million. Here she is yelling at people that are coming by to try to take pictures of the house.
Like me because I'm not a Jack Foreman.
Yeah, get him, Joanne.
Get him, Joanne.
Get him, Joanne.
Have you seen anything else but Breaking Bad stuff since you've been here? You can take a picture from that corner. Do not get close. And no tripod, no nothing. Just quick snap. One picture, then you go.
That's incredible.
I'm gonna have to blame Joanne for that.
Yeah.
Don't live in a house that's famous if you don't want attention.
She's escalating.
She way escalated. And I believe spraying me with a hose is assault.
Can you imagine a little garden hose?
Yeah.
The New York Times did a story on how rich people are now doing fine water tastings. It tastes different depending on the mix of minerals, and some types go for thousands of dollars in the new water tastings.
I started Fine Waters 20 years ago, and for the next 10 years, no journalist talked to me because it was just a crazy idea. Water is just water. What are you talking about? And over the last 10 years, we see a significant change. And over the last years, especially after the pandemic, when people suddenly paid a little bit more attention, it's exploding.
That's incredible.
So there was an episode of Vanderpump Rules. One of the girls on there is sober, and she hosted a water tasting. And I mean, all the fans and stuff were like, wow, you really needed a storyline here. She was onto something, I guess. I guess people are doing it.
That's obnoxious. And by the way, did you say there's a water that's thousands of dollars?
Yeah.
That's what it says.
I know Pellegrino, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Evian used to be the big one.
Well, I mean, yeah, but isn't Pellegrino like I Evian and Fiji are in my fridge all the time?
Yeah.
But
Pellegrino's from Italy.
But yeah, and then there's another one. I mean, isn't that when you start getting into the fancier waters?
I mean, they're not. But listen, you could do a tasting party of anything that's not alcohol. I mean, you can have those Celsius drinks, or you can have those things. A man told police he was driving over 130 miles per hour because he was late for a job interview.
That's incredible.
They still gave him a ticket. Have you ever wondered what the number one pasta shape in your state is? Not surprisingly, spaghetti is the top shape in 20 states. Penne is preferred in 17.
I do like penne, and I like cavatappi.
I love cavatappi.
Yeah,
Cavatappi?
that's one of my favorite new. Yeah,
What does that look like?
Isn't it like spiral?
Yeah, it's like a longer.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing, you know.
All right. I think, is that it?
Do you know what you get with this thing
it's good for radio to make gestures without
It's
words.
obscene.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. There's your That's Incredible today on 100.3 WN.
Hi there. Thanks so much for joining us on this June 10th. I'm your host, Bree Teamer, and you're watching Fox 2 Detroit's Live at 3.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
For the past year, we've reported stories involving U of M and pro-Palestinian protests. And now the University of Michigan has cut ties with a security firm accused of spying on pro-Palestinian students. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch has the details.
I think this is a continuation of what we've been seeing nationally.
Attorney Amir Macklett, who represented several pro-Palestinian protesters arrested during demonstrations at the University of Michigan's Diag last May and cleared of those charges last month, says canceling contracts with security companies who use concerning tactics is appropriate and applauded. His clients claim they were followed, even harassed by some of those undercover teams in Ann Arbor in recent months.
They've spent nearly $1 million going after students, wrongfully monitoring them, recording them, and it's totally unjustified.
Records show AmeriShield, which is the parent company of Detroit-based City Shield, was paid more than $850,000 for its services. We are told the private security was hired to report suspicious incidents in high-traffic areas, not to conduct surveillance. The shutdown of this encampment helping to highlight what's been described as questionable behavior.
Well, I think we saw some videos online of one of these private investigative employees acting as if they had some sort of a mental challenge or physical handicap in a way to not maybe raise suspicion that they're actually watching the targeted individual.
The university's interim president commenting on that employee's alleged actions in a letter to the community. It said in part that what was happening was disturbing, unacceptable, and unethical, and we will not tolerate it, adding that going forward, we are terminating all contracts with external vendors to provide plainclothes security on campus, end quote. The decision certainly appreciated, but Attorney Macklin says more needs to be done here.
I think the university's got to be held accountable. They need to have some transparency. We need to have oversight over the spending of these universities, and these independent investigations, must happen against the university, not against the students.
Now, Fox 2 did reach out to City Shield Security Services for comment, and they did send us a statement. They say that they are aware of this, they are investigating, and that they take all complaints seriously. In the meantime, the university's interim president says if you experience inappropriate behavior as a result of some sort of interaction with one of these private security companies, you're asked to reach out to campus police right away so they can investigate. Reporting from Ann Arbor, I'm Robin Murdoch, Fox 2 News.
All right, we want to take you live now to Detroit, where the Detroit Amplifiers, a part of the Big Three League, coming to Detroit. They're announcing some updates with the team, what's going to happen this season. Let's listen in.
Woo. Well done. Well done. Our thanks to the Drum Kings for joining us here to celebrate the first season of Detroit Amps basketball in the Big Three. Thank you. Well done. Appreciate it very much. Thanks to everybody for being here. What an exciting day this is. My name is Matt Shepard. I'm proud and honored to be part of Game Above and the Big Three for the first time here in the city of Detroit. When they wondered, should we be here, I think we all know how well Detroit puts on events. I don't care if it's the Ryder Cup. I don't care if it's NBA championships. I don't care if it's World Series, All-Star games. We do it right. And I can promise you this, we will do this right as well. It's an honor for us to be here, but it's even a bigger honor for us to introduce the Detroit Amps. And in case you don't know about Game Above is all about entertainment, sports, and community. And we are heavily involved in the Detroit community. Our chairman is Mr. Keith Stone. Keith. And our co-owner is Sky Stone, Andrew Tomey, TJ Lang, all fantastic people to work for and to follow. Big round of applause for the Born in Detroit crew, have been outstanding inside helping us set this event up. What a great store. What a great representation of our city. Let's get to exactly why we're here. We want to meet our team. First, led by our head coach. He's one of the greatest players of all time. He's a Hall of Famer. He is the Iceman, and he is George Gervin. It's always a really good debate. What's the greatest poster in the history of sports? If you don't think that the Iceman sitting on a block of ice with 2 silver basketballs with the collar up isn't in the conversation, you haven't seen enough posters in your life. His son, G. Gervin, made his career in the European League, and he has been a great leader for this team already. Everybody, G. Gervin. You need a captain. The captain has to lead. He's got to be a great communicator. He has to be a great listener. Jeremy Pargo is that man from Chicago, Illinois. Here he is. And a pretty good debater, too, I might add, about football and basketball and some of the greatest players of all time. Yeah, he says there's only one, but I have the microphone, so we know which one that is. You need big men to succeed in this league. Darnell Jackson won a national championship at Kansas, and Darnell Jackson is the big man for the Detroit Amps.
The one and only blocker.
The one and only blocker and the one and only scorer, too. Speaking of scoring, nobody scores in this league better than Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson's a 7-time NBA All-Star, and he is the only three-time Big Three MVP. And then you need a sprinkling of veteran leadership and really talented youth. Shakur Houston out of University of Nevada, Las Vegas is part of the Detroit Amps. And a Midwestern guy on his own from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Nixon. Training camp has been fantastic, and training camp has been held with our partners of Wayne State University. What a beautiful facility they have, and they have representatives here. We thank them very much. Our game is July 20th at Little Caesars Arena. We invite you all to come and root them on. It is an absolute blast to come out and watch these folks perform for you. This city has been incredible. Our chairman went for a run about 5:15, 5:30 this morning. The only people working were the news media in the morning. But he said, it's been a long time since I've been able to run around this great city, and what a job they have done here. It's been phenomenal. And it's been led by a lot of the people we've gotten close with Platinum Equity, Bedrock, Dan Gilbert, the Illiches. It's been awesome, okay? Deputy Mayor Malaya Howard is here, and she represents this great city and how it's starting to thrive more and more. We welcome you here, and we're glad you're here, and we have a little present for you as well. Khalid Walton, our president, will present her with a signed Big Three basketball. We hope you display that proudly and enjoy it, and we'd love to have you. I know this is impromptu here, but we'd love to have you say a few things about another professional team that's going to be a champion here in the great city of Detroit. Come on up. I'll hold that for you.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be here today. I have to say that, honestly, the most fun part of my job and my day is literally getting to celebrate all the awesomeness that happens here in our city. And so now we have the Detroit Amps and the Big Three here, and this is truly a phenomenal opportunity to continue to grow our sports franchises here in the city, but also grow in this new space, right? So I used to play basketball. I know I am short, okay? I know that. I did. I actually, at one point, could touch the rim, but I used to long jump in high school. So there's a difference there, right? I'm going to brag about myself for 2 seconds. But this really, for residents, July 20th will be the home game. And I do truly hope you come out to the LCA and support this team. And not just support on July 20th, but their first televised game for CBS is coming up this weekend. And so make sure you tune in. We want everyone to know that Detroit supports the AMP, And we all know that we are a historic and storied city when it comes to sports, but these young men are doing something phenomenal, and I want to make sure that we continue to be here for them for the longevity. And so, gentlemen, we thank you for this opportunity, for you coming here and participating and being the new shining stars here in the city. And so, as most of you know, their home will be at the LCA, but we also have in 2027 the Final Four coming, so please make sure in whatever way that the AMP can support those efforts and initiatives here in the city. But again, thank you and welcome to Detroit.
We went to StockX yesterday to get some shoes. How about those treads right there? Well done. Looks like you're fitting right in, right? That's a good point. I mean, July 20th for sure, but the season opens in Chicago coming up, and it's kind of exciting. It's really exciting for us with Game Above. All right, TJ Lang is one of the co-owners of this franchise. He knows a little thing about winning. He's a Super Bowl champion. Played for the Packers, but more importantly, played for the Lions as well. Well, that's all right. Everybody knows you. I mean, everybody knows you. It's okay. I mean, you're a Pro Bowler. You're a Pro Bowler with them. You still went to Eastern Michigan. Everybody, TJ Lang.
Eastern, yeah, that's right. I was supposed to talk about why we're bringing the team to the city. The Deputy Mayor, you did an excellent job of exemplifying why we want to be here. Not only our Game Above group has deep roots here in this town, but it's one of the, not one of, and I'm biased, and I think a lot of you would agree, best sports town in America. When the sports teams are rocking, we saw it with Lions last couple years. This summer has been incredible downtown with what the Tigers have been doing. Pistons, obviously, bringing basketball back to this city. The timing matches up perfect because these guys, great players, they want to be here. They want to represent this city, and I know that they can't wait this Saturday. 5 o'clock, Battle of the Midwest, a CBS against Chicago. That's going to be a fun one. And then obviously our home game, July 20th. We are so excited to be back here where a lot of us, ownership group, has deep roots. And we can't wait to put on a show for you guys. We are committed. We wouldn't do this if we weren't 100% committed to bring in not only a heck of a team, but a championship team, championship level team to this city. So we're incredibly honored to have these guys be a part of our team. We're incredibly honored, everybody on Game Above, to be a part of this. And this is why we're in Detroit. I mean, just this turnout here and people getting excited about bringing another damn good basketball team here to the city. We're excited about it. So thank you guys. Can't wait to keep this thing going. Thanks, Shep.
Thanks, Teej. Appreciate it very much. We'll keep this a little higher since the short people can always bend down. We're used to champions here, okay? Tigers got 4 championships. Red Wings have 11. No other team in the United States has more Stanley Cups than the Detroit Red Wings. Lions coming off back-to-back division championships, 15-2 a year ago as a 1 seed. Pistons have 3 championships, so we're used to champions being here. When you think of Detroit athletes, one of those Detroit athletes is George Gervin. And George Gervin is truly one of the greatest players of all time. I know there's a lot of young people here. You all got Google now. You all got a way to look up stuff. Go to YouTube and check out his highlight film, and your jaw will drop. Ladies and gentlemen, the coach of the Detroit Amps, the Iceman, one of the greatest players in NBA history, George Gervin.
All right, thank you, Matt, thank you. Excited, I'm real excited to be back home. Deputy Mayor, thank you for all the kind words for us, and we as the Amps are bringing something special here to Detroit. The team that I have, we building a family type atmosphere to be able to take care of each other on the basketball court, and I know that's how Detroit sports have always been. Now I'm born and raised here, so born in Detroit is quite a fitting for me, because this is where I grew up on the east side. I went to Martin Luther King High School, Butzel, middle school. So I have roots here. So for me to have this opportunity to coach this Detroit Amps is real special for me. I'm real excited about, having this opportunity. When I think about champions, y'all, I go back, way back before a lot of y'all was born when Detroit Tigers won it in, 67, 68? A lot of y'all don't know nothing about that. But they rioted after that too, though, I think. You know what I'm saying? So I got an unbelievable history here, and I'm just so proud to be back home. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm excited to see all of y'all out here to get a chance to meet us, and you'll get a chance to meet some of the players and stuff. And I'm so excited to be coaching with my son, my junior, George Jr. And I also have my grandson here, Jael, that is also here helping us. So, family means everything to me, and that's what we're creating here. We know Detroit is a sports team, you know what I mean? Last time I coached here, I coached in 2000, 25 years ago. And, the name of my team was the Detroit Dogs, ran by Art Blackwell. And we won the championship. See, so I'm used to winning. I brought some guys here who's going to make that happen for me, and I really appreciate you guys, man. So I want y'all to introduce yourself to the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. Hey, y'all, love y'all. Thank y'all for coming out.
One of the big things when George and G and our front office group was putting together this team, they wanted somebody who represented the city and represented them on the road as well, right? Anytime they're away from the city, they're wearing the city's name across their chest. And it doesn't mean as much if you're not represented the right way. And these guys know what it takes to represent the Detroit fan base the right way. And they have become close over the last couple of days as part of their training camp. And they're going to get closer throughout the season. But there are all of them type A, right? They're all leaders. Jeremy Pargo is the captain of this team, and he loves staying in the Midwest. He loves being part of this. I asked him, of all the teams you've played for in the Big Three, has anyone done this? And he said, this is the first time, man, and it's really cool. And it's great that you're out here representing this city of Detroit. Jeremy Pargo, everybody. He is the captain. Jeremy.
How y'all doing out there? I appreciate y'all showing up and showing some support for us. I know some of you guys don't know who we are, but we tend to let you guys know exactly who we are when these games start this coming weekend. Deputy Mayor, I want to let you know your outfit is, you did that. To Keith and Game Above, appreciate you guys. Ice, without you, we wouldn't be here. You've built a team of, I guess you can say, young, old G's, I guess you can say. And we look forward to playing in front of you guys and putting on for this city. I'm from Chicago myself, so I know what it is to be from the Midwest. I know what it takes to live in the Midwest and be an athlete in the Midwest. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys for coming out, and we're going to do everything we can to represent this city the right way. And hopefully we can bring another championship back very soon. Thank you, guys.
So cool to have these guys representing the city of Detroit. One of the best ambassadors this city has. Born and raised here, very successful businessman, played baseball at Eastern Michigan, went to Detroit Catholic Central High School. His name is Anthony Tomey. He runs Born in Detroit, 8 Mile Vodka, and Jimmy John's all over the city and all over the area. And he is a proud co-owner of the Detroit Amps. Anthony, thanks for letting us be part of it.
Eastern all day, baby. Thank you all for coming out today. This is a great showing. Really proud of my team here with Born in Detroit. They've been here all day, all yesterday, making this happen. We want to thank everyone here at Game Above, right? Did a great job. Our founder, Keith Stone and Sky, thank you guys for all your support and all you guys have done for us. For sure, let's clap that up. All our whole team here, except for TJ. Let's not thank him at all. He hasn't done anything, actually. Just kind of hanging out here today. Love you, TJ. Love you. And these guys, really proud of these guys. I was at the draft this year which was a great thing to be able to do. And just as watch these guys work, you hear a couple of these other big names out there, but we talked with George and with G, and we said, we want a team that's going to compete, that's going to win, it's going to play hard, play defense, and do it all, and that's what we have here. We're real proud about that. I want to thank my partners here at Born in Detroit, my brother Michael and George and Alex for letting us do this here. So thank you for them. And just we want to pump this up, guys. We got merch inside, all brand new merch. Sky designed everything. He's a wizard with this stuff. He did a great job of designing back and front and different things. And obviously, I think I'm a little old because I don't understand all inside. All the merch is for sale, ready to go. We got posters inside. Stuff. John Wangler over there too. Happy birthday, my man. He makes all of our clothes for us. So thank you for that. And
everybody being here.
All right, big exciting things coming to our city. A Big 3 League introducing the Detroit Amplifiers. Can't wait to see what they do. They said the big day is July 20th. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be happening at Little Caesars Arena, of course, no place else. Super excited. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with more news. Welcome back. Well, for the first time ever in Michigan, the Live Golf League is getting ready for its upcoming season-ending championship right here in Metro Detroit. The league is bringing their team championship to the Cardinals at St. John's Resort in Plymouth in August. Speaking at the Detroit Economic Club yesterday was Liv's Golf CEO Scott O'Neill. He talked about Liv's role in the world of golf and what was his impression of Detroit.
Describe Detroit in one word. Can't use grit.
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
The Renaissance in Detroit is spectacular. It's not told enough outside of this little area, but it is spectacular.
Liv's Golf Team Championship will be held at the Cardinals St. John's beginning August 22nd. Well, a group of students in Redford getting a hands-on lesson in technology. And you want to know what the best part is? They learned it from some very cool teachers. Fox 2's Camila Miri shows us.
We are flying drones with the Lions players.
A pretty cool assignment at the Redford Service Academy. The school's media department even interviewing the players about the experience.
It's obviously, this is the future of America. They're going to be the ones dealing with all this technology and AI and the drones and everything. So it's cool that they're going to jumpstart on that.
It started in a classroom, learning.
An understanding of the technology that allows them to fly, an understanding of the technology that allows them to connect to the things they need.
What we're trying to do is just expose the kids to as much technology as we can.
Then it was on to the hands-on part of the day, flying the drones in the gymnasium and then outside.
It's almost like a preview for our LEAP camp. My LEAP camp starts June 23rd and it runs through July 21st. So we have the Detroit Lions rookies and some of the alumni that came out today, and they came out to interact with our kids.
1, 2, 3, Lions!
Honestly, this is all new information for me. I'm learning just as much as they are. So, yeah, it's a cool hands-on activity, just learning how to fly some drones.
What was it like to fly the drone?
It was fun to control the drum and everything, to see it go up and do a lot of stuff.
And fun to hang out with some of the Detroit Lions.
They're very happy that we're here, but we're learning just as much from them, and we're just as happy to be here. So it's been a cool experience.
In Redford, Camila Miri, Fox 2 News.
Well, another tense day in Tinseltown. Protesters continue to clash with police as they voice opposition to the Trump administration's immigration raids in Los Angeles. How the feds are pushing back, we'll tell you about that. Plus, it's something that kills tens of thousands of people in the U.S. each year. And June marks National Gun Safety Awareness Month. We're speaking with someone from Johns Hopkins about the topic and things like safe storage and what you need to know about it. That's coming up. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Live. You're looking live out at downtown Detroit. That's the Detroit River, that body of water right there. Across the way, you see the foliage of Detroit. And then behind that, you see the horizon of our beautiful city. That's what they say may be altered by the rents and getting some reconstruction or whatnot. That this view right here is going to be affected. Let me know what you think. Hashtag Fox 2 Detroit Live. All right. Well, those the LA immigration protests, those are still going on. Well, protests against ICE raids in LA turning violent over the weekend. Crowds of people clashing with police in the streets, some throwing rocks, using fireworks, and destroying vehicles. Now, officers were seen using tear gas and rubber bullets all over the city. And today, dozens of people were arrested. Now, the White House is sending in more troops. More than 700 Marines have been deployed to Los Angeles as widespread unrest continues. This as the state of California moves to sue the Trump administration for deploying the National Guard to the city. Local leaders are accusing the president of inflaming the situation.
Trump and Hegseth jumped from 0 to 60. They threw caution to the wind and sidelined strategy in an unnecessary and inflammatory escalation that only further spurred unrest.
Governor Gavin Newsom announced he's bringing in 800 more state and local officers. He and President Trump are now trading the blame for who's responsible for the riots. And there are new reports of visitors to America saying they feel added pressure at airports as President Donald Trump's travel ban takes effect. Some visitors say they are required to go through several security checks to prove they can enter the country legally. President Trump's ban includes 12 countries, mostly in the Middle East and Africa, while citizens from 7 other countries can enter through heightened restrictions. Visitors who previously received a visa before the ban can still travel to the U.S., but new travelers will need to meet specific requirements. Immigration experts say the recent ban is likely more sustainable compared to Trump's ban during his first term in 2017, which faced several legal challenges. But the nation's top public research agency is speaking out against the Trump administration over deep cuts to medical research funding. Scientists at the National Institutes of Health sent a letter to the agency's director challenging recent policies that have already terminated nearly $10 billion in grants. They argue the cuts undermine the NIH's mission, waste taxpayer money, and threatens public health, both in the U.S. and around the world.
Biomedical research saves lives, so of course we want to make it better. But coming in with this without any notion of how it's done and breaking everything, there's a cost to that. And that cost isn't just us. That cost is the American people and global public health more generally.
NIH says more than 90 researchers, program directors, branch chiefs, and scientific review officers signed the letter now known as the Bethesda Declaration, named after the agency's headquarters in Maryland. National Gun Safety Awareness Month, and Michigan lawmakers are currently seeking to toughen gun laws within the state over the past decade. Michigan's gun death has increased by 25% over the last 10 years alone. Now, here to shed light on rising gun violence statistics is Dr. Catherine Hoops from the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solution. And Dr. Hoops, part of the institution's research shows that safe storage regulation can prevent many gun-related deaths. Welcome to the show. And can you talk to us a little bit about the meaning and importance of safe fire storage?
Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, I think that's the most important thing that we want people to know right now is that, a simple action, a simple step can be life-saving by safely storing firearms in the home. So what safe storage means is that all firearms, every gun, every time, should be stored unloaded, locked up in a safe, and separate from ammunition. And we know from decades of research that this is life-saving. These laws and this practice are preventive against unintentional injuries, suicide, and homicide, especially among youth. So, a simple step like safe storage can really be life-saving.
When I was looking at some of the statistics of following gun violence and just guns in general, firearms in general, I found out that every 11 minutes, someone in this country is killed by a gun. Where's that research coming from?
Yeah, so we know that firearms are the leading cause of death in kids in the U.S. And, our institution and violence prevention researchers across the country look to the best available data to tell, these statistics and understand the problem both nationally and in our individual communities. So that particular statistic comes from the CDC data that helps us to understand the trend nationally.
When we think about how these people are obtaining firearms and guns, what are the requirements to purchase a gun? It seems like so many are floating around in the streets, and then we have the guns that don't have the serial numbers, the ghost guns. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there's a tremendous amount of variability state by state in what's required when someone goes to purchase a firearm in a licensed retailer versus in other settings. So there's a tremendous amount of variability state by state. But one thing that we know, regardless of where a firearm is purchased, how it's purchased, once it ends up in someone's home, then again, safe storage can save lives by preventing unauthorized users from getting access to it. And we also know that safe storage prevents theft, which is a really important portal of entry for crime guns. So safe storage not only keeps guns out of the hands of kids, but it also can help to keep guns out of the hands of criminals and other people who shouldn't have access to them.
Dr. Hoops, we have a ton of people watching us right now. Some have guns, some don't. But for those who don't have guns, why is it important to know this information?
I think everyone has a role here, gun owners and non-gun owners. For non-gun owners, you can still have a conversation with people in your family, in your community, about how they're storing their firearms and share information about the importance of safe firearm storage. For parents in particular, right, the same way that we'll talk to other parents about our kids' allergies or habits before a play date, we can also talk about how firearms are stored in the homes that they're visiting. Really, we just want to help to normalize these conversations, to help to promote kind of a general social normalization of safe and secure firearm storage.
Doc, where can we find more resources about all of this, all the information that we need to know?
Yeah, so we have some really helpful information in a toolkit on our website that can help you to start those conversations. Also, just give additional research, statistics, information for folks to review. And that can be found at t.jh.edu/safe storage, or folks can just search Safe Storage Saves Lives.
Dr. Hops, thank you very much. All right, well, the Taylor Police Department is taking the issue of public safety to new heights, quite literally, with the help of autonomous flight drones. Fox 2's Scott Wolchak joins us now to explain what this means. Hey, Scott.
Hello.
You were out and about and working on this story, and I saw a little bit of the video, so I know it looks pretty cool too.
It is actually pretty cool. We were up on the roof of Taylor Police Department.
Wow.
So there's 4 new drones. So there's 2 types of them. So 2 of them are like the cool kind that you're seeing right here. So this thing literally opens up, and then those drones will be launched. Those are the autonomous ones. So if someone calls 911, these things could be activated to go boom, and then they fly over to where the 911 call came from. Then they'll also send an officer, but these things will probably get there fast. Now, this is actually footage of an old drone that they have flying around because they can't launch the new drones yet. They're not allowed to until June 18th. But the idea is these things could get to a scene fast, give them an eye in the sky so that they can see everything going on at a scene and see, okay, there's a bar fight going on. You got to watch out over here and that kind of thing. And that can be relayed to the officers. So it's pretty cool technology. The other kind that they have are kinds that can be deployed inside of buildings. Now, they're not autonomous. Those would be controlled by an operator. And that's like if you have like a standoff or a guy holed up inside of a home or something, they can send the drone in instead of a person, and it can actually make a whole map for them. And
Wow.
then the
Technology,
officers
I tell
know.
ya.
It's wild technology, but honestly, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And I'm really happy that this video showed me exactly what I was supposed to be looking at, because I thought the drone was that big thing.
I
that
thought
we
it was
saw-
too.
That we saw at the beginning, and then it opens up.
Yes.
And then that's the drone. So is that like the charger or something?
Yeah, that's like the docking station. Because if that giant thing was flying around, like my number one question would be like, are you sure that people
Right.
aren't? It's not going to crash on people?
And
But
that's
they're-
not very discreet either.
No.
you know?
Well, I don't think it necessarily needs to be discreet because it can actually talk to people. So they have two-way communication through it. So like it could show up to the scene and be like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Yes," that kind of thing. So it's honestly, it's really interesting. Obviously, the big thing people are worried about, are they going to be looking in my windows and that type of thing? But
Yeah.
the battery life on these are only 40 minutes and
What?
And that type of thing.
40
so
minutes?
it's kind of it's not supercharged, but they're deployed if there's a 911 call. So it's not like they're out there looking for crime.
Yeah.
If crime happens, it responds.
Yeah, so they're not just out flying around 24/7,
Right.
like surveying the land and whatnot.
Right.
It's just out there for special calls.
Yes.
But it could
or
grow
it could be anything minor, like, hey, reports of a water main break. They send that out.
Yeah.
And, now they can check to see, is there a water main break? They don't have to send anybody for that one.
I could definitely see how residents would be concerned about this, though, because there is so many different possibilities for this drone to participate in. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can use it.
One of the things that's interesting is apparently it's all going to be like public records. So like, you can see how often they're deploying it and for how long and that type of thing. So it should be pretty easy to track if they end up peeping in your windows. They're not allowed to, that's illegal. So
will it be on the scanner or whatnot? Whatever.
I think that it'll probably be on a website, I would imagine, sometimes that type of thing, or you can, FOIA a public record of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is super cool. Technology is just doing its thing lately,
It
just
is.
advancing so much. So
It's pretty
fast.
wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Who knows what else is going to happen via drone next?
Exactly.
Ideas.
Yes.
All right, Scott. When's this happening? Are you putting this in the 5 or the 6?
This one is going to be in the 5.
All right. Well, we will see it then.
Awesome.
Scott.
Thanks, Bree.
Well, Disney gains full ownership of another major streaming service. The company agreed to pay Comcast more than $438 million to take full control of Hulu. Disney first purchased a piece of the streaming service in 2019 before acquiring 2/3 ownership when it obtained the assets of 21st Century Fox. The acquisition is expected to lead a fully integrated service, Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN streaming app. The companies plan to finalize the deal by July 24th. That'd be cool if we could just have all of this in one spot instead of going to this app for this and this app for that. That'd be cool if it's just all in one app. All right, well, Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference continues today, and after the tech giant unveiled the next software update for its devices, the biggest announcement that the company has announced is the liquid glass, and that's raising a few eyebrows. The liquid glass design adds a glossy sheen to icons and widgets on iPhones, adapting to natural light. The company also announced upgrades for its messages platform, allowing users to add backgrounds and polls to group chats. The phone app will also allow automatic screen calls from unknown numbers. Now, on the AI front, Apple is adding live translation and more closely integrated support for ChatGPT. The new software is expected to release in September. And if you want to beat the crowds at Costco, it might be time to upgrade your membership. Starting June 30th, executive card holders will get an exclusive shopping moment. It's about an hour before other members. That means 9 a.m. at most locations. Now, fewer than half of Costco card holders have the executive membership. The current price for it is $130 per year versus the $65 for the Gold Star. I think that this is worth it for sure, for me at least, to upgrade to the executive membership, just solely because Costco gives me so much anxiety just going in there. Everything's so big.
everybody's going in every direction.
And everyone's going in 20 million different directions, and everyone's like reaching over you to grab samples and whatnot. It's just a lot going on, and the lines are always super long. So that extra hour could definitely do some justice. I think we do have an executive. Well, never mind. I won't say it. All right, moving on. Let's talk to Stephanie Mead about the weather.
Yeah, so not bad outside right now. Temperatures are in the 70s. It feels nice too. There is a little bit of cloud cover out there, but not a whole lot that's really creating any issues just in terms of precip. So good news there. Current conditions show a lot of 70s here on the map. A few in the upper 60s. It's a bit closer to central Michigan. 70 Flint, 71 Pontiac, 74 in Detroit. We don't have a whole lot going on in terms of dew point readings. It's low, it's dry, so it feels okay out there right now. So nothing oppressively humid. Now there are a few showers that are popping a bit closer to the thumb. Some of that too up near St. Clair County, just north of the city, up near even parts of northeastern Macomb County. So just be prepared for that if you are a little further north of the city. Otherwise, a lot of this is going to continue to move out. So only improving conditions for those areas throughout the rest of the day today. As we get through Wednesday, lots of sunshine, more of a summer-like feel. Temps will be in the mid to upper 80s for a lot of spots. Thursday, our next system arrives, and it's going to be very hit and miss just in terms of rain chances. I do think the further north you live, you have a higher risk of picking up on that isolated to spotty shower. I think the key takeaway, even though we do have that rain chance, we see a lot of dry time through the end of the week. 75 today, sun and clouds. It's going to be a little breezy, but I think that's going to provide us with a bit of a cooler feel for sure. A lot of us tonight will see those temperatures fall through the 50s, and we are going to still be dealing with some hazy conditions just in terms of that wildfire smoke. Again, it's not going to warrant you to not be outside. Might slightly agitate some folks who have those respiratory issues, but other than that, I don't think you're going to notice this a whole lot, not only today, but also through the next couple of days. So good news there, at least in terms of our air quality through the end of the week. Lows tonight, upper 50s, mainly clear. Overall, a nice and pleasant night. Warm tomorrow, high temps, mid 80s, a little breezy, but more of a summer-like feel again. We'll be in the mid 70s during the day on Thursday. Next system arrives on Thursday, and that's going to bring us that spotty shower chance for some. That'll continue into Friday as well, but I think the key takeaway is we do see a lot of dry time through the end of the week. And then through this upcoming weekend, that stray rain chance will continue through Saturday. But I think for Father's Day on Sunday, we should be mainly dry, feeling kind of comfortable too. Temps will be in the mid 70s. By Sunday, we should be in the upper 70s. And then approaching 80 degrees by Monday of next week. Now, don't let those icons for Thursday, Friday, Saturday deter you from being outside. Just have the Fox 2 weather app so you can occasionally check it out if you are planning on being outside for a prolonged period of time. Otherwise, warm tomorrow, nice pool day, nice lake day, and then we see 70s through the end of the week and at least to start this upcoming weekend.
86 degrees on Wednesday. Is that the highest we've experienced this year?
I don't think it's the warmest we've experienced this year, but it could get pretty close. I'll go back and look. Other than that, I don't think we've had a whole lot of warm days just because it's felt very cool. So it's
the rain
warmest.
Just keeps on coming.
It is. It's for sure been the warmest day for June.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been the warmest in May. I do think we've seen a couple like mid 80 degree days in May. I know May felt really cool, so those warm days felt few and far between. But yeah, for June it's been the warmest thus far, 86.
All right, thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
Well, Father's Day, it doesn't get as much attention as Mother's Day, but men play a very important role in the lives of children. A closer look at the influence when we come back. Welcome back. Well, some sad news from the music world. Sly Stone, the legendary frontman of Sly and the Family Stone, has died at the age of 82.
Thank you for letting me be myself again.
Sly Stone, born Sylvester Stewart, formed his iconic band with his brother and sister back in 1967. The group helped reshape popular music in the 60s and 70s and was the first major band to feature black and white men and women together. Stone's publicist says he died surrounded by family after battling chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and other health issues. Sly Stone was 82 years old when he died. Well, it ends with us. Actor Justin Baldoni lost his big legal war with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the New York Times. All claims of his $400 million lawsuit against them have been dismissed. Baldoni claims the Hollywood couple tried destroying his career after they attempted to control the direction of the film. The lawsuit also alleged the New York Times wrote an article filled with inaccuracies in an effort to smear his public image.
I cannot even begin to express the love that I feel from everybody out there. When I saw that memoriam, I was like, man, it could have been me. But I don't know why I went through what I went through, but I know my second chance I'm not going to turn down.
Jamie Foxx got emotional at the BET Awards last night, accepting the Ultimate Icon Award. The Oscar winner delivered a powerful speech addressing his health scares as his two daughters looked on from the crowd, clearly emotional as well. The 57-year-old said he has a second chance following a stroke and a coma, which all led to recovery in Chicago. Well, mark your calendars. The Tigers are on Fox 2 this Thursday in Baltimore. 6:35 is the first pitch. Meanwhile, no matter how long you've been watching baseball, you may have never seen a catch quite like this. Denzel Clark of the A's, he made this last night. Take a look.
And this one to center field. Denzel Clark on the move back after he stepped towards home plate and makes another catch.
Oh my God!
Back-to-back weeks where he wins the Electric Play of the Week, and he's already on the leaderboard for this week.
I mean, Denzel Clark
Taking a home run away is one thing, but going a few feet over the wall to bring one back, that's just incredible. What a play. A's did lose the game, though. Unfortunately, after this amazing catch, they lost. The final score was 7-4. All right, well, if you're still looking for a gift for Father's Day, we've got a few ideas. How about an outdoor pizza oven? Would you like that, Tom?
Yeah, I'll take that.
An outdoor pizza oven?
Absolutely.
Why not
a pizza outside?
I guess. They come in a range of prices. You can get one for as low as $100. You could also get a pair of Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Those are about $200. Would you like that?
I'd rather have the pizza oven.
It depends on what kind of guy your dad is. You know what he likes. Now, these Meta glasses, they allow you to capture hands-free photos and videos and listen to your favorite music and share information on social media or over a text. An informal poll in our newsroom revealed men don't mind getting a pole saw for Father's Day. What's a pole saw?
I think to trim your trees.
Oh, okay. There are also the standard hair and beard trimmers. Also popular is giving dad some alone time or to watch golf. Boo. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. I will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday, June 10th. I'm your host, Jamie Sherrod, and you're watching Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4.
Live from the Fox 2 newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
For the past year, we've reported stories involving U of M and pro-Palestinian protests. And now the University of Michigan has cut ties with a security firm accused of spying on pro-Palestinian students. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch has the details.
I think this is a continuation of what we've been seeing nationally.
Attorney Amir Macklett, who represented several pro-Palestinian protesters arrested during demonstrations at the University of Michigan's Diag last May and cleared of those charges last month, says canceling contracts with security companies who use concerning tactics is appropriate and applauded. His clients claim they were followed, even harassed by some of those undercover teams in Ann Arbor in recent months.
They've spent nearly $1 million, going after students, wrongfully monitoring them, recording them, and it's totally unjustified.
Records show AmeriShield, which is the parent company of Detroit-based City Shield, was paid more than $850,000 for its services. We are told that private security was hired to report suspicious incidents in high-traffic areas, not to conduct surveillance. The shutdown of this encampment helping to highlight what's been described as questionable behavior.
Well, I think we saw some videos online of one of these private investigative employees acting as if they had some sort of a mental challenge or a physical handicap in a way to not maybe raise suspicion that they're actually watching the targeted individual.
The university's interim president commenting on that employee's alleged actions in a letter to the community. It said in part that what was happening was disturbing, unacceptable, and unethical, and we will not tolerate it, adding that going forward, we are terminating all contracts with external vendors to provide plainclothes security on campus, end quote. The decision certainly appreciated, but Attorney Macklett says more needs to be done here.
I think the university's got to be held accountable. They need to have some transparency. We need to have oversight over the spending of these universities, and these independent investigations, must happen against the university, not against the students.
Now, Fox 2 did reach out to City Shield Security Services for comment, and they did send us a statement. They say that they are aware of this, they are investigating, and that they take all complaints seriously. In the meantime, the university's interim president says if you experience inappropriate behavior as a result of some sort of interaction with one of these private security companies, you're asked to reach out to campus police right away so they can investigate. Reporting from Ann Arbor, I'm Robin Murdoch, Fox 2 News.
Well, 3 students who survived the 2023 Michigan State University shooting reached nearly $30 million in settlements with the school. Gruel Law, who represents 2 victims, secured almost $17 million for their clients, who were both critically injured. Another survivor, who was paralyzed from the chest down, received a $13 million settlement. That victim will also receive free tuition, room and board, and health insurance. 5 people were wounded, 3 were killed before the shooter turned the gun on himself. A woman has been charged with violating Michigan's safe storage law after a shooting on a school bus injured a student in Redford Township last month. Maya Prim was arraigned this morning. She's accused of not properly securing a gun that was used on board a bus outside of Thurston High School on May 7th. Police say a 15-year-old boy who is related to Prim had the gun unsecured in his backpack. When he took it out and was handling it, police say it went off and hit another student in the hand. In addition to the charges against Prim, the teen who had the gun has also been charged with several offenses, including careless discharge of a weapon causing injury. Well, 2 people taken into custody earlier this morning after a police chase in Warren ended with a crash. This all started around 1 a.m. Police pulled over a car near 8th Mile in MacArthur for speeding and say the man, who appeared intoxicated, briefly stopped before taking off. Officers followed and stop sticks were deployed, but the chase continued into Detroit, where the driver eventually crashed in an alley. Investigators say one passenger who tried to get out of the car before the crash was critically injured and taken to the hospital. We are told the driver and the female passenger tried to run away after the crash, but both were caught. Police also found what they believe were narcotics in the vehicle. Charges in this case here are still pending. And a police chase spanning 3 days in more than a dozen cities in Metro Detroit ends in this arrest caught on camera. That man who had been driving a semi was taken into custody at Market and Winder in Detroit yesterday afternoon. Now, according to sources, the driver is accused of breaking into an ex's home in Dearborn Saturday morning. When police arrived there, they say he hit a cruiser and led them on a chase through multiple cities. The chase was called off several times due to safety concerns. The suspect is now being held by Dearborn police and is expected to be arraigned on various felony charges. Well, a man from Missouri is also behind bars after striking an MSP patrol car Sunday night. This happened on westbound I-94 in Lincoln Township. We are told the trooper was outside their vehicle conducting a traffic stop at the time. Fortunately, they were not hurt. Police say the 33-year-old driver was under the influence and is now awaiting charges. A Zoom court hearing goes off the rails after a Detroit mom makes a sandwich in court. This was after she arrived several hours late, but she wants to clear up some things, and she is talking to Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack about what really went down.
It was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, in case you were wondering. And yes, it was on full display. The judge, he was not happy what went on at his courtroom, well, Zoom courtroom.
So when I called...
No, we can't talk at the same time.
Well, I apologize for being late. Excuse me.
On the docket, PB&J. Yep, that's a jar of peanut butter front and center of a Zoom court hearing last week.
Put whatever you're trying to prepare down.
I'm trying to feed my daughter.
36th District Court Judge Sean Perkins, apparently more of a ham and cheese sandwich kind of guy.
You gotta put your properly dressed on. I
am properly dressed. I have on a t-shirt. I am properly dressed.
Is that a robe?
Ironically, mom Asia Outerbridge is a fashion stylist, and this day in court, her style was a robe.
It was just a lot going on. I was having a mommy day.
She went viral after Metro Detroit News posted the clip on Instagram.
And I click on the video and I see the judge that I had, and I'm like, I see my robe and some peanut butter, and I'm like, oh my God.
That little angel is her daughter, 3-year-old Parker. She was sick, and that's why Asia said she was multitasking.
My daughter is sick. I had to keep her home from school. I'm just trying to feed her. That is it.
That's terrible, but you're in court.
Miss Outerbridge, I'm sorry that your daughter is sick. But again, you're in court, okay? And we're going to treat it as such.
Judge Perkins then booted Asia from the Zoom call.
I have on clothes. I have on clothes.
Bye, Miss Outerbridge.
I have on clothes.
She was there in the first place for a misdemeanor for allegedly having an open alcohol container as a passenger, yes, passenger in a car. The hearings for 36th District Court stream live on YouTube, opening up courtrooms like live theater to the masses.
It's not even COVID anymore. What are we doing here? Like, seriously. Like, let's put court back in the courtrooms.
She says she waited for hours in the Zoom waiting room and feels like the judge could have had some mercy on a single mom.
I owe the judge an apology. I could have came better prepared, and I could have handled it a lot better.
Asia does have another court date coming up, and it is on Zoom. She is really hoping, because of all this attention, the judge does not make an example out of her. Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
It is a program that helps give people a fresh start after past mistakes. Today, Project Clean Slate celebrated its 15,000th expungement. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly explains.
Good afternoon. The city of Detroit celebrating a major milestone. It was just announced at a press conference that just wrapped up moments ago that the city of Detroit now has 15,000 expungements. That means thousands of people here in the city of Detroit now have a clean slate. That may not sound like a big deal, but it is major for these people who have had some sort of criminal record, a black mark on their record, and now they're able to move forward because that record has been expunged. It's not just a victory for the person who got an expunged record, it's also a victory for their family members. In the past, many people who have had some sort of black mark on their record, a felony perhaps, were not able to find a good paying job because of that black mark. But now, because the record has been clean, that clean slate, they now have an opportunity to reach further. So coming up tonight at 5, we're going to hear from people who have had that success with a clean slate by getting their record expunged and what it means not only for them, but also their family members. We're also going to hear from the chief of police and what that means for the city. So don't go away. We're going to have much more on this story coming up tonight at 5 and also at fox2detroit.com. Back to you.
Well, another Sheetz is coming to Metro Detroit. The Royal Oak City Commission voted last night approving a rezoning plan for a site at 14 Mile in Coolidge. Sheetz is trying to expand in Metro Detroit, but a number of other communities have said no. Some say the 24-hour convenience store chain would bring extra lighting, noise, and traffic to the area. Well, Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4 is just getting started. Lace up your walking shoes. It is time for the annual River Walkers program. Josh Landon takes us there right after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. The weather is warming up and many people are taking advantage. And this is something you can take advantage of, too, right on the Riverwalk, one of our favorite locations. It's a great day to head out there, and Detroit's riverfront offers one of the more scenic places to enjoy a nice walk or a jog. The Detroit Riverwalkers program actually starts today, and Fox 2's Josh Landon put his walking shoes on to give us a preview.
On this Tuesday, the sun is shining, which means the Detroit Riverwalkers are back here along the riverfront. It's going to be here weekly every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm joined by Renee Rodriguez. Hello to you.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for being out this morning.
Hey, good vibes, Renee. So talk about the Detroit Riverwalkers. What is it this time around for 2025, the summer season?
Yeah, Detroit Riverwalkers is our health and wellness program here at the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy for seniors, older adults who are 50 plus years old. Every Tuesday morning through August 21st, we're out here with fitness classes such as Hustle. We have giveaways. Henry Ford Health is our sponsor. They bring out different medical professionals each week with resources, AARP as well. We have snacks, walking, of course, socializing, all kinds of fun activities.
And what's also good, it's not just about the physical activity, which is most important, it's also providing resources about fraud, scams, things that attack or target the elder community.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we say health and wellness is such a large scope. It is everything from movement to also learning about new things like that AARP is providing or meeting with a healthcare professional.
Yep. Okay, so just give a lay of the land one more time. Every Tuesday and Thursday, right here.
Yep, every Tuesday and Thursday at Cullen Plaza. There's still time to register for the program. You just have to go to our website, DetroitRiverfront.org, sign up. We'd love to see you out here on a Tuesday or Thursday this summer.
Beautiful. Renee, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Once again, the Detroit Riverwalkers program is back for the summer season every Tuesday and Thursday. So come on now, stay active, and take advantage of the resources. In downtown Detroit, Josh Landon, Fox 2 News.
All right, Stephanie Mead joins us now with a look at weather. Today will be a nice day to be on the Riverwalk, but tomorrow will be an even better one.
I think so. I think temperatures finally into the 80s as we head through the day tomorrow. So nice day to be out at the pool, out at the lake, out at the Detroit River. So anywhere you can find water, it's going to be a great day. And then moving forward, it gets a little bit cooler with temperatures returning back to the 70s. It's a live look over Belle Isle right now, and you can kind of see those darker clouds. There are a few showers that are popping up a little further north and east of Detroit and the Detroit River itself. We have a few showers over parts of St. Clair County, rather. Temps are in the 70s here in the city at 74, 70 degrees. In Port Huron, 76 degrees in Toledo. And there's where a few of those showers are popping, but these are quickly moving eastbound. So over Port Huron, now extending over into parts of Canada, up near Sanilac County, over Lake Huron as well. So once this moves out, we do see drier conditions. The sky should begin to clear out too for those spots as well. Anticipate a mainly clear sky overnight, and then through the day Wednesday, just an ample amount of sunshine. There really is not going to be a whole lot in terms of cloud cover, maybe a tad hazy, but very much manageable in terms of wildfire smoke and then also cloud conditions. And then we'll see our next system arrive on Thursday, which could give us maybe a few pop-up showers here and there through the day. But a lot of dry time, I think, taking us through the end of the week. Highs today hit the mid-70s. We'll see that now and through about 7 o'clock, and then those numbers begin to come down overnight tonight. Another nice comfy night. Temps, I think, bottoming out in the upper 50s with a mainly clear sky. Now, tomorrow, as mentioned before, it should be a nice evening, or I should say a nice day. Temps will be in the mid-80s. A little breezy, but that should feel nice considering temps will be in the mid-80s. Should be a warm one, slightly humid, but nothing oppressive. And then by Thursday, that next chance of a storm possibly popping with highs in the mid-70s. And again, that storm chance is going to be very much hit and miss. And we do manage to see a lot of dry time in the mix as well. So it's nothing really to cancel plans over. The same goes for Friday. That pop-up shower, a thunder shower, not out of the question. They will be around, but we do manage to see a lot of dry time as well, so something to take into consideration. Saturday, much of the same. And then for Father's Day on Sunday, I do think we're mainly dry. Temperatures should feel nice too. So a lot of 70s in the mix over the next couple of days. We peak tomorrow in the middle 80s, and then we see 80s eventually return as we head through Monday of next week. But a really nice pattern kind of setting up just in terms of temperatures. That rain chance, again, very much spotty. Lots of dry time over the next several days, even though we do have that rain chance Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't think it's anything to cancel plans over, just something to be aware of, especially if you'll be outside.
All right, we'll have to enjoy these next couple of warm and dry days while we have them, because then we'll be in a little rainy rut there for a little bit.
Yeah, but again, it's going to be a lot of dry time associated with that shower chance. It's kind of that weird pattern where we see a lot of dry time for at least the first half of the day, and then during the early afternoon, I should say late afternoon, early evening, we see those storms pop. Okay. But not everyone's going to see it, so it's kind of that tricky setup. It's like Florida weather a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Steph.
Yeah.
A very special afternoon for some Redford students and the Detroit Lions. We'll have that story for you and what they're doing coming up right after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. A special day for a group of students in Redford getting a chance to meet some Detroit Lions players. They stopped by their school to help students get a hands-on lesson, not in football, but in technology. Fox 2's Camille Amiri takes us there.
We are flying drones with the Lions players.
A pretty cool assignment at the Redford Service Academy. The school's media department even interviewing the players about the experience.
It's obviously, this is the future of America. They're going to be the ones dealing with all this technology and AI and the drones and everything. So it's cool that they're going to jumpstart on that.
It started in a classroom, learning.
An understanding of the technology that allows them to fly, an understanding of the technology that allows them to connect to the things they need.
What we're trying to do is just expose the kids to as much technology as we can.
Then it was on to the hands-on part of the day, flying the drones in the gymnasium and then outside.
It's almost like a preview for our LEAP camp. My LEAP camp starts June 23rd and it runs through July 21st. So we have the Detroit Lions rookies and some of the alumni that came out today, and they came out to interact with our kids. 1, 2, 3, Lions!
Honestly, this is all new information for me. I'm learning just as much as they are. So, yeah, it's a cool hands-on activity, just learning how to fly some drones.
What was it like to fly the drone?
It was fun to control the drum and everything, to see it go up and do a lot of stuff.
And fun to hang out with some of the Detroit Lions.
They're very happy that we're here, but we're learning just as much from them, and we're just as happy to be here. So it's been a cool experience.
In Redford, Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
All right, Dan Miller joining us now with more in sports. Dan, the Tigers taking on the Baltimore Orioles tonight. What can we expect there?
Winning baseball. I mean, I guess these guys have earned the benefit of the doubt. At this point, you just watch them and you anticipate they're going to go out and acquit themselves well. Look, Orioles have been playing better of late. They had a terrible start. They've been winning some games. But where the Tigers are concerned, coming off a really good weekend against a really good Chicago Cub team, I think they just feel confident every time they take the field. A little different when you're on the road, obviously, but it hasn't seemed to affect them this year, and they know they got Tarek Skubal coming up on Thursday in a game that will be right here on Fox 2, which we're excited about. So, look, when you're playing well, you just want to get back out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing well. They got the best record in baseball. They just want to get back out there. So it's going to be fun to see how they play in these 3 games on the road before they come back home for the weekend.
Yes, and it's music to my ears every time I hear it. The best record in baseball. Go Tigers.
Well, you know what? When you're continuously winning series, and Woj said it on our Sunday night show, they've won 16 of 21 series this year, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And that puts you at a minimum 16 games above 500 for those 16, and they've been better than that. So, look, consistency is everything over 162 games. You're going to have your ups and downs, but if you can maintain some consistency most of the time, which they've done, you're going to be in great shape. They're 7 games up in the division.
Yeah.
Far from insurmountable, but a really nice lead to have when you're not even halfway through the season.
All right, we'll see what happens. And switching over to basketball here. Today is Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Thunder dominated the Pacers in Game 2. Do they have a strong chance of doing that again tonight?
I think it's a really interesting game because the Pacers did what they had to do to steal Game 1, get that victory, and then OKC comes back and exerts their will on their home court. Now I think you're going to see what happens when OKC goes on the road. Look, they're the better team in most everybody's opinion. They're the favorites, significant favorites in this series. But now you got to get it done on the road. Can you get it done in Indianapolis against these guys? And I think that's what you have to watch. I anticipate OKC being the better team will find a way to go in there. But can Indiana get that split and get this thing back to OKC tied 2-2? That's really where the drama is.
Yeah, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been a really impressive player leading his team. Talk about him and any other standout players here.
Well, I think where SGA is concerned, this is his coming out party. Look, he's averaged more than 30 points a game for 3 consecutive seasons. That puts him in some pretty rare air in professional basketball. But got to couple that with a championship and then championships. And you can't get 2 championships until you win a championship. So this is important for him in terms of his legacy, his standing among the greats, and it puts him in the conversation moving in that direction if they can win this here. So he's something else. Look, Halliburton's been terrific for Indiana. His late game heroics have been just off the charts. And it's really a great series when you have two stars, young stars like that going head to head. I just think SGA's got more help with OKC.
So, I mean, if you had to put your money on one of the teams.
OKC.
OKC
and it was
all
OKC
day.
going into the playoffs. It's OKC now. Look, they have proven themselves as the best team. They're deep. They're well put together. They got a ton of talent. They got guys that back up SGA if he's not having the best night. You can go Williams. You can go Holmgren. You can go up and down that lineup. And they just really can play any style. They can answer most things that you throw at them. But it's a 7-game series. And when Indiana won that first game, it reminded us all, you may think you know, but you really never know.
You really never know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. All right, Dan, thanks so much as always.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, once again, the Tigers are in Baltimore for a series against the Orioles. The first game of the series is tonight, and Thursday game 3 is right here on Fox 2. Our pregame coverage starts at 5:30, followed by first pitch around 6:30, and then our special Fox 2 post-game coverage. Your home for Detroit sports right here on Fox 2. Well, coming up, a massive military parade coming to Washington, D.C. this weekend to celebrate the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army. We'll have a look at the preparations when we come back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. Your time right now, 4:31. A breezy day out there as we take a live look out at the Bayview Yacht Club. 74 degrees out there. Well, the nation's capital is gearing up for a large military parade this weekend to celebrate 250 years of the U.S. Army. Fox's Rebecca Castor has more on the preparations.
Dozens of Army battle tanks and combat vehicles arriving by train to Washington, D.C. ahead of Saturday's grand military parade to commemorate the Army's 250th birthday.
Your U.S. Army soldiers happened on the battlefield since the Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II, global war on terror. So this is a great chance to meet soldiers.
Nearly 7,000 soldiers are flocking to D.C. to take part in the celebrations, and as many as 200,000 people are expected to attend.
We are deploying thousands of agents, officers, and specialists from across the country. Everyone entering the event will go through screening at clearly designated checkpoints.
But while the tanks and troops roll in, so are concerns about costs.
What is the total cost to the unit at Fort Caravos of moving these vehicles to and from D.C. for the parade?
Congressman, I don't know the specific cost of that one movement.
Well, I guess the total cost is about $35 million. How does the parade contribute to defending the nation?
Congressman, we think it's an incredible once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to expand our recruiting pool and tell the amazing story of the United States Army and the impact that it's had.
Saturday also happens to be President Trump's birthday. He'll be attending the parade and presiding over the re-enlistment of 250 soldiers.
It's going to be an incredibly powerful and symbolic moment for them, for the president, and for the U.S. Army and the military writ large.
The massive stage is being set up for the parade, and fencing is going up around D.C. to prepare for the big crowds. The FBI says it's not tracking any credible threats for the weekend. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox 2 News.
Roop Raj joining us now. And Roop, what has celebrating our military looked like in the past? Has it ever been this large scale of an event here?
Well, no. One thing that President Trump keeps saying is that other countries have celebrated the end of World War II, and this is one country that has not. And of course, this country is instrumental in having ended it. And so many people are saying, all right, this is long overdue. But here's the issue, I guess, at hand. And this goes back to everything. If you just want to know where we are politically in our world right now, you just have to say, here are two different theories of how things should work. Should we celebrate on this 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army? And if so, how much would it cost? And if you're talking about spending too much money, right now it's the Democrats who are going to be pointing the finger, saying $45 million is the cost to have this parade. And by the way, it's something like $16 million of that would be to repair the streets of Washington after the parade, because you're putting some heavy artillery on the grounds of a very old city. And so, yes, it's going to cost a pretty penny. And I couldn't even use the word pretty penny because the penny's being discontinued, but it would be a very pretty dime, a very shiny nickel
there we go.
To have this done. But the military parade is not something that we see in this country. Now, what's interesting is also, look, this is if you're a MAGA right Republican, you can't argue the fact that President Donald Trump likes himself a little President Donald Trump. This is a man who is not bounded with humility. And we know that. And so guess what? It's his 79th birthday on that same day as the parade. It's also Flag Day. And he says this is a celebration of this great country. And he's right. It is 250 years to celebrate the Army. It's definitely something to be happy about, and to know that this country is stronger because of the good men and women who have helped build our military. Mm-hmm. So to honor these military, of course, no one is getting in the way of that. It's the cost that people are complaining about, saying $45 million at a time when you just hired Elon Musk, who just left, to help save money in our economy. How then are you making sense of this while other people are talking about Medicare cuts? And so this argument is going to be made by people like Chuck Schumer and other Democrats on the Hill, who are going to say this doesn't make fiscal sense, even if it makes, I guess, morale sense or sense for the patriotic sense that we have.
Definitely a lot to celebrate and a lot of money being spent to do it. We do know it is day 2 of trade talks with the U.S. and China. This, of course, happening in London. What is the significance of that location there? Why London?
Well, I can tell you right now that anytime you bring someone into your country to host them, there's going to be a little bit of a power play. And if I bring you into the White House, you're going to be kind of fixing at our rules and speaking to us at the behest of the customs of this country. I think going to a third-party country has always been something that they've done for really high-stake talks with people who are of consequential nature. I mean, think about this kind of a relationship that they have. This is a tense relationship between China and the U.S. What I find most interesting about these talks, Jamie, is the fact that, look, back a few months ago, if you asked anyone, hey, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think China will fold in these trade talks? 120% tariffs at the time that they were talking about. And most people would say that the Chinese economy wouldn't necessarily be able to handle it, necessarily. There's an argument to be made that it could have. But now they've proven, China has, that with tariffs that can actually sustain it. They can actually figure this out. And they have something in their hand that they can open up right now that's the biggest bargaining chip of all. You know what that is, Jamie?
What is it?
Rare minerals. And China is coming to the table saying, we have something that you need and you want. So now I have leverage. And so China, because of that, in these trade talks, does have that leverage. Look, rare minerals are something that not just this administration, any administration knows to value and knows how valuable and important this is. And so I think it's going to be very interesting on day 2 to see that China is faring well, bearing the tariffs well, so to speak, and they're doing quite well considering. So because of that, I think the upper hand goes to China more so than the U.S. in this moment. Things change by the moment, right? Because the U.S. can come back and say, wait, you know what? We're going to do this. They certainly both have very strong fists put up against one another.
Well, hopefully a lot of progress will be made there. What can we expect on the Pulse tonight?
Well, tonight we're talking to Dave Dulio, Oakland County professor, a lot about what we're dealing with. The tariff talk, we're talking about, sovereignty. If something happens in Michigan, can the president call the National Guard in? Michigan's governor is in charge of that. While in California, Gavin Newsom is suing the Trump administration for the 24th time because of that. We're going to be unpacking state sovereignty. It seems, if you talked 5 years ago, I said, let's talk about state sovereignty on our show tonight. You'd say, that's so boring. Who wants to talk about that? But it's all important, and it all matters to us. And then we also have a Republican and a Democrat also on with 2 very different opinions about how this should all work.
All right, looking forward to that tonight on the Pulse, 11:30, and also on our Fox Local app. You can catch the replay. Thank you, Roop.
See you then. Thanks.
Well, a 4th straight day of demonstrations, as Roop was kind of just hinting to there. In Los Angeles, protesters taking a stand against the Trump administration's immigration raids in the city. And the Defense Department is sending in more military members to help. Fox's Gary Baumgarten has the latest.
Protesters and law enforcement faced off late into the night Monday across Los Angeles as President Trump authorized the deployment of an extra 2,000 National Guard members to the city. This on top of the initial 2,000 Guard troops summoned over the weekend and the roughly 700 active duty Marines that have also been assigned. President Trump blames Golden State Governor Gavin Newsom for the ongoing demonstrations, which erupted last Friday after ICE agents carried out raids across Los Angeles.
He's an incompetent governor. Look at the job he's doing. It's lucky for the people in Los Angeles and in California that we did what we did.
Local leaders say the troops are fanning fears from Trump's immigration crackdowns.
For the most part, the people that have been detained have been denied access to legal representation. This is unprecedented.
But police making it clear violence will not be tolerated.
Those who choose to incite violence, engage in vandalism or graffiti, or attack officers will be arrested.
While there have been dozens of arrests, police are thanking those protesters who are peacefully practicing their First Amendment rights.
We treat dogs better than what ICE is treating or Trump is treating our people. So we need to stand up and speak up for the people that don't have voices.
Meanwhile, new protests also broke out Monday in other cities, including Boston, New York, Dallas, and Santa Ana. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Oh, in honor of Men's Health Week, the Michigan Men's Health Foundation geared up for its 10th annual Cogs and Kegs bike ride. Hundreds of experienced and casual riders kicked off the 10 or 30-mile ride at Lincoln Yard in Birmingham last night. The event not only raises awareness for men's health-related issues, but it also recognizes first responders and the increased health risks their careers can pose.
Running or biking or just walking, things that just get you active, gets you engaged. And by getting engaged, it gets you to start thinking outside of yourself and start thinking about others in your community and the people that are important in your life.
Well, the best part, all riders have a chance to enjoy a post-ride celebration with dinner and an ice-cold beer. That ice-cold beer sounding good to a lot of people when we're warming up like we've been lately. This probably sounds good to you too, Tom, huh? We should have went. Stephanie Mee joining us now with a live look at our forecast here at home.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Not too bad. We have a few showers that are popping on radar, and from this vantage point looking back towards or out towards parts of Port Huron, they are seeing a few lighter showers. They're going to move out. I think we do remain dry through the rest of this evening, and very warm heading through the day tomorrow. So great summer forecast for you. This is a live look over Belle Isle, and you can see those darker clouds out in the distance, and also those cooler temperatures that we're experiencing on Port Huron right now. It's 64 degrees, 74 in the city of Detroit, 76 in Toledo right now. And you can see those developing showers up near the Thumb, up near Sanilac County, St. Clair County, but the last of them are starting to push its way through. So once we start to see the last of those lingering lighter showers, we do see drier conditions pretty much across all of southeast Michigan through the remainder of the day and through this evening too. Same goes for Wednesday. Not a whole lot going on. It's really not until maybe Thursday we see that stray shower up near northern Oakland, northern Macomb County, the Thumb, and then by Friday, I think we're picking up on a better chance of showers, especially during the evening. 75 today, sun and clouds. It's going to be a breezy one. It's a nice breeze, though. And as we head into this evening, those numbers start to come down little by little. 58 tonight for an overnight low, mainly clear, quiet. Tomorrow, daytime highs will be in the mid-80s. A bit of a breezy feel, but a really nice summer day. So you can be out at the pool, you can be out at the lake maybe if your schedule allows you to. Otherwise, Thursday and into Friday, we see our next chance of rain. And I do think Friday we have a better opportunity for that. We see a lot of dry time on Thursday with high temps in the middle 70s. So here's our Fox Futurecast model. Again, it is going to be very hit and miss. Not everyone's going to pick up on this shower chance, and I think it's going to arrive later on in the evening. So a lot of our daytime hours staying mainly dry. Friday, we see a few afternoon showers, maybe a few thunder showers pop. This is by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And we'll keep in that chance of a very isolated to spotty shower chance take us through Friday evening and into Saturday too. So very much isolated, very much spotty over the next 3 days or so. We see a lot of dry time. And then heading into Father's Day weekend itself, Sunday looks great. Temps will be in the upper 70s to near 80, and then we finally hit 80 degrees by Monday of next week. More of a warmer pattern looks to at least welcome us in as we head through the end of next week. So maybe finally feeling a bit more like summer here across southeast Michigan. Otherwise, we get a bit of a taste of it tomorrow. Highs in the mid to upper 80s, but not a bad forecast with maybe just a little bit of unsettled weather in there.
Yeah, not bad at all. And we get a dry Father's Day for all the dads out there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll enjoy that.
Yeah, great grilling weather. Great party weather if you're throwing a party for your dad. So really nothing too big to complain about.
Should dad be grilling on Father's Day?
I think they want to be. I think they kind of want to be secluded from everybody.
Tom says they want to. Okay.
You don't have to talk to anybody. You can just sit there and grill. I think that's what they want.
Grill.
That's what they want. Grill in peace.
Because we want to eat. So
yes.
Win-win situation.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
Well, Detroit's business scene just got a boost and a little more diverse as 3 women of color open new storefronts in the city's North End. They're the latest Motor City Match winners. Fox News' Ingrid Kelly shows us how these new businesses are making their mark.
Soil is just right to start and grow a business in the city of Detroit.
I am so proud of you ladies.
3 women of color entrepreneurs proving dreams do come true as not 1, not 2, but 3 ribbon cuttings took place to celebrate the success of 3 Motor City Match businesses now operating in Detroit's North End.
$30,000 is a lot of money, and we definitely were we needed to upgrade our equipment.
So Christina Magana used her $30,000 grant to spread her wings and move from California into this new space in the Motor City.
Motor City Match helped us elevate and also grow our team.
Colleen Jackson also saw more opportunities in Detroit, moving her hair salon from Ferndale. A $65,000 Motor City Match grant helped make it possible.
It has helped me tremendously. It helped me finish paying for a whole lot of things that I had to pay for, like construction, equipment.
And now she's uplifting others.
Have a registered apprenticeship program with the state of Michigan, so that's for newly licensed stylists.
Entrepreneur Marquita Dace was overcome with emotions.
It's been a long journey. It's gonna make me cry now.
It's been a long journey for me.
It's been a sometimes rocky road for this ice cream shop owner, but $65,000 from Motor City Match helped pick up the pieces to open the shop.
Their customer service was phenomenal from the beginning of the application to me receiving the grant. So they've been a tremendous help.
These entrepreneurs credit the Motor City Match program for helping them get to the next level, and they encourage all small business entrepreneurs to never give up.
Keep it going. Don't quit.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Well, 3 students who survived being shot in the 2023 attack at Michigan State University have reached nearly $30 million in settlements with the school. Joining us with more is Fox 2's Charlie Langton. Charlie, is that $30 million enough?
No, it's not. It should be more than that. But unfortunately, that was the number, and that's what they settled on. This is an interesting story here, besides being a tragic story. There's no question about it. I remember back on this very day, I think I was there that night back in February 2023. A guy just goes into not one but 2 different buildings within MSU, opens the door, walks in, and opens fire. At the end, 3 students were dead, 5 students were injured, all very, very seriously. The 3 students who were killed, there you can see some of the momentum. It devastated the whole community for a very, very, very long time. Now, let's talk legal. I'll get into the settlement in just a moment. But legally, there's another kind of shooting that a lot of people are talking about, and that's the Oxford High School shooting that happened back in November of 2021. Now, those are the 3 students that were killed at Michigan State University, but there are other students killed in Oxford High School. Oxford High School brought a settlement, brought a lawsuit against the school, and it was thrown out by judges because of something called governmental immunity. So people are now asking, what's the difference between this shooting at a public school and the Oxford shooting at a public school? And there's a big difference. The lawyers here at Michigan State found an exception to governmental immunity. And what's the exception? The law says that if the building is defective, there's no governmental immunity, meaning no defense for the school if they don't maintain their building. What's the defect in MSU's building? They didn't put locks on the doors. And it may be that simple. No locks on the doors, no security, no safety mechanisms to guard these students. Now, there may be other defenses, but at least governmental immunity, which is kind of a knockout blow to sue public entities, exist here at Michigan State, not at Oxford. Now, Oxford, the negligence, the bad stuff was really done, arguably, by the administrator. They didn't check the backpack. They let the shooter go back to school. But that's got nothing to do with the building or any other governmental immunity exception. And there are some other ones, and I don't want to get into all of them, but driving a car, slip and fall in a building, medical malpractice, that's got nothing to do with Oxford or MSU. So there are certain exceptions, and they're tricky. But you've got to give some credit to an attorney, Mick Graywall. He's out of Lansing. He's represented a lot of the victims here in MSU. He also represented a lot of the Larry Nassar victims. And he came up with the theory. And the theory is a good theory. There was a building defect in MSU. No security, etc. And give credit to MSU. Yes, they made a settlement, which is good. They did the right thing. And they also took care of some of the security issues that were raised by this terrible shooting. So MSU, arguably, and even according to Mick Graywall, the lawyer, did the right thing, come together and make a settlement without going through trial. We're going to talk a little bit more about this at 5 o'clock and get into a little more about this governmental immunity issue. But essentially, that's the issue. There's an exception to governmental immunity, therefore no defense to Michigan State. How about that?
Very interesting. And I mean, you got to imagine other schools will probably see this. And if they haven't already, probably will work on stepping up that security there, especially to protect students. But when you have something like this happening and we think back to, you know, how everyone felt in the newsroom who attended the university when that happened. And then the same with Oxford. And it's all about preventing these shootings from happening as well. But making sure, you know, the victims are accommodated who experience this.
Well, the insurance companies that insure those schools are absolutely going to be checking their security, because if there's a settlement of this magnitude, now there's a couple of other settlements. Let me ask you also, just so you know, the 3 students that were shot and killed, they also made a settlement with Michigan State about a year ago for a total of $15 million. They got $5 million each. And then this one is 30. There are 2 other students who have not yet made a settlement, and we don't know the status of them. Also, just for the heck of it, for legal people out there, where does the money come from? I asked that to Mick Graywall. He wouldn't tell me.
Oh.
Because there is an issue about insurance and how much insurance coverage, and even are they going to pay out of Michigan State's pocket or insurance? But it doesn't matter. They've reached a number, and now Michigan State can also battle it out with their own insurance companies. So lawyers are not done yet. There'll be plenty of work for lawyers.
Wow.
So we don't want to get too in the weeds with this one. This will be a different level for some discussion. But the bottom line here is that I do think, you asked the question just a minute ago, what will this do? What lesson did we learn here? And that schools and public buildings will now make sure that they make sure it's safe for everybody. And it really makes a lot of sense.
It really does. All right. We're looking forward to your story tonight, Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the BET Awards celebrating its 25th anniversary. We'll have a recap of last night's show right after the break. Stage last night at the BET Awards. Anne-Marie performed One Thing and the whole crowd loved it. This whole show was very nostalgic. All the hits. I remember that being a jam back in the day. So it was great to see her perform that. Well, this year, the BET Awards celebrated its 25th anniversary. It was a big night for Jamie Foxx. Take a look. Well, Foxx received the Icon Award and gave a speech that left his daughters in the audience in tears. And also, Tyler Perry did win an award, but his comments have gone viral. Here's part of what he said.
Walking on the beach with my son. He was about 3 years old at the time. Sit down so I can tell you this real quick. And as we were walking up the beach, I was trying to get under the umbrella because it was hot, and he's jumping and he's falling behind me and jumping and falling. And so I'm about to scoop him up and take him to the beach, and he says to me something that shocked me. He said, "Look, Papa, I'm walking in your footsteps." It touched my heart, so I grabbed him by his hand. I said, "No, let's walk together." We walked to the end of the beach, and then he looked back and he saw all the footprints that he had left. I say that to you tonight because I want to talk to you about this thing that is happening in this country, and I want you to pay attention to it. Don't miss this. They are removing our books from libraries. They are removing our stories and our history. They are removing our names from government buildings. It's as if someone wants to erase our footprints. Because what we need to understand is that if our children don't know our history, they won't know our power. But the truth of the matter,
some very powerful words from Tyler Perry at the awards show last night. He got a standing ovation for that speech there. And overall, the award show seems to be getting a lot of good feedback from viewers, which has not always been the case in past years. Well, sink your teeth into this. Ryan Coogler's Sinners is now the highest grossing original horror movie this decade. According to BoxOfficeReport.com, the epic vampire flick has crossed the $350 million mark worldwide, beating its $90 million price tag. Of course, that film stars Michael B. Jordan in a dual role playing Smoke and Stack, and he definitely killed it. Well, finally today, it is National Iced Tea Day, but the question remains, is it the best summer drink? According to a new poll, 53% of people say it is, especially if you're spending time outdoors. A separate poll found only 8% say they've never tried iced tea. Some other drinks that made the best summer drinks include, I agree with this one here, lemonade, slushies, and water. Do you like iced tea,
I really
Tom?
do like iced tea.
I prefer lemonade.
It's probably my favorite.
Really?
Drink,
I prefer hot tea if I'm drinking tea, and then for the summer, I'll take the lemonade. All right, that's all for us here on Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. Thanks so much for joining us. Don't go anywhere. Fox 2 News at 5 is next. Have a great day.